Hey everyone, Brian from Three Geeky Dads here. Before we begin tonight's episode, I just want everyone to know that we are now sponsored by Audible. As an IT professional for a school department, I find myself behind the wheel of my car traveling between schools almost all day long, and that's where Audible comes in. Right now, I'm enjoying listening to Douglas Adams' Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, read by Stephen Fry. It's so enjoyable to hear this hilarious audiobook read by a proper British comic actor. And that's just scratching the surface. Audible is the leading provider of spoken word content, with everything from bestsellers, celebrity memoirs, and news to podcasts. Yes, if you're into podcasts, and you're listening to us right now, so we can assume you do, Audible has got you covered. Just go to www.audibletrial.com/3GD to get your free 30-day trial today. That's www.audibletrial.com/3GD to get your free 30-day trial. You'll get 1 credit, 2 credits if you're already an Amazon Prime member. That's good for any premium selection titles you like, and they're yours to keep. You also get the Audible Plus catalog of podcasts, audiobooks, guided wellness, and Audible originals. Listen all you want. No credits needed. Again, that's www.audibletrial.com/3GD. $14.95 a month after your 30-day trial. Cancel at any time. Audible. Stay informed, connected, and inspired. And now, on with the show.
Warning, incoming dad joke. Warning, incoming dad joke.
Hey guys, what do vampires drink at happy hour?
I don't know. What?
Be positive.
Pretty good.
We should be.
Nice.
All positive.
Yeah.
Every one of us.
Who is your daddy, and what does he do?
It was like a pink nightmare.
Christmas as in Yule log. Not a log, I don't have a log, but it's...
All that I have, all that I've learned, everything I feel, all this and more I bequeath you, my son.
Your father was Frankenstein, and your mother was the Lightning.
We named the dog Indiana.
I am your father.
Should all be positive.
I like
because we're together again.
I like to be aggressive. Be aggressive.
Be aggressive. B-E-A-G-G.
Yeah.
E for Robert Loggia.
E for Robert Loggia. That would be Eob.
But everybody loves.
Everybody loves Robert Loggia. There we go.
Hello and welcome to another thrilling episode of Three Geeky Dads, the show so rich with entertainment it should come with a warning label under the nutrition facts. Ooh. Much like what you just heard with
We have
Robert
nutrition
Loggia.
facts?
Yeah.
Yeah, look at
Caution,
us.
high-fat
come on.
content.
Everything fried. I am Mark, and with me, as always, hitting the microphone are the Hooper and Quint to my Chief Brody.
Derek.
I drive the boat. Brian.
And who could forget our own shark, who's so cool that we're going to need a bigger boat to carry all of it in. The fourth dad who says F you to math, and the title of our show, Tito.
Nice.
And as an extra bonus, we have a special guest joining us to continue our Head into Halloween Hammer series. Woo-hoo. A man no stranger to Hammer or horror, and always up for a good Dracula discussion. Friend of the show and my co-host on our horror movie escape pod, Dean Calusdian.
Hello.
Dean, welcome back.
It's great to be back.
It's great to have you here
back, yeah.
amongst the geeks, amongst all of us. How are you? How is everyone? As well as Dean. How is everybody? Is everybody
Hanging
good?
in there.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Living the dream.
Like a little kitty cat.
Yeah, on the branch, you know.
It's nice to get an actual friend of the show to be
That's
on
true.
the show.
That's true.
It's nice.
We
It's
say
nice
everybody
sometimes.
is a friend of the
We
show.
say names out loud a lot, but they never come visit.
It's our wish
All
list.
our friends don't
It's
show
our friend
up.
of the show wish list.
Yeah.
They can't find us.
all
everywhere.
our friends are in Canada, like
Yeah.
the guy that
right,
pretends to have a girlfriend
right.
from. Actually, we do have 2 friends in Canada. So
That's true.
That counts.
Chris and Tristan Ham.
Chris, but
The end of every
invitation's out
episode,
there,
Brian
B.
tells everyone where to find us.
yeah.
That's right.
Still, Jenna Ortega cannot find us.
No,
I don't give out the address, though, Tito. That's the problem.
That's what
We have lots of listeners. Their names are all George Glass. We'll let that reference sink in. So tonight we continue our trip through the world of bats, boobs, and blood as we discuss the third installment in the Hammer Dracula series that marked the return of Christopher Lee, but somehow left his voice behind and stuck in traffic somewhere. I am, of course, talking about the Hammer classic Dracula, Prince of Darkness. But before we string up the garlic, grab a crucifix and stock up on turtlenecks. Our own kooky count of culinary cuisine, Brian, has prepared a delicious appetizer to start us off.
Aren't you drinking? I never drink. Why?
I started chuckling, but then I decided to go into Dracula.
That was good. I thought you were doing the lodge.
No, that came out wrong. So if you heard last week's episode where we kicked off our Hammer Halloween series with Dr. Jekyll and Sister Hyde, a film where the good doctor transformed not into a hideous beast, but into a sexy, sinister, seductive, slashing killer. So, we started asking ourselves, have we talked about female killers in films before? Turns out we didn't. So here we go. Our picks for our favorite films with female killers.
Beautiful. I think you're starting us off.
Yeah.
I thought you called us pigs.
Well, we
I
are.
didn't call you pigs.
I thought I heard. Oh, I thought
We're pigs.
yeah, we don't have women on the show. We don't
pigs.
talk about women.
No,
We don't.
These pigs.
No, didn't call
You
us
said
pigs
pigs.
at all. We just haven't gotten around to it yet.
We're good.
High time we have.
Really?
No, we had Sarah on.
Yeah.
But she's my wife. That's different. She had to be.
No, she only did it because she loves them.
That's right.
Yeah.
We need women on here that don't
That's
love
right.
me.
And my wife is the one that does the incoming dad joke.
That's right.
Yeah.
Very true.
So you guys, your wives need to step it up.
That's
then.
right.
Yeah.
My
Okay.
wife doesn't do anything I want her to do.
get
So that's not happening.
Let's just get some strange.
Yeah, let's get women that I don't know.
Hey, baby. Hey, baby. Yeah. Damn, we're smooth.
Brian, what do you got?
All right, so for my first pick, my only pick, and till we do the runners-up, I'm going with Ginger Snaps from 2000.
Nice.
Excellent.
A nice
choice.
Halloween werewolf
Ginger
movie, yes, with a female protagonist / antagonist as the werewolf.
That's a
She's
great
good.
choice.
It
She's good,
is.
too.
Yeah.
I love this movie. I
Yeah.
love everything about it. The casting is perfect. The makeup is awesome. The kills are great. It's just a nice little Halloween werewolf movie, and its sequels aren't bad either.
I was gonna
It's
say.
got
now,
two
have you
sequels that it's
seen
spawned.
all of them?
I have.
Yeah, they're really good.
Yeah, even the third one that goes back in time, and
I like that
and-
one.
Yeah, and it's kind of like a prequel of sorts.
And she's a killer in a few things too.
What do you mean?
She killed on Hannibal. The TV
Oh,
show.
yeah,
Oh,
Catherine,
the actress.
Catherine Isabel.
Yep.
Yes.
And American Mary.
American
Yeah,
Mary.
it's kind of like an American version of Audition, I think.
Okay,
That's what it looks like.
I don't know that one,
Sorry.
but nope.
No, but I know
So
what
that's-
I'm talking
She
about.
was good on Hannibal.
She was good on
Right.
Hannibal. Yep. So that's mine.
That's
Ginger
a good-
Snaps.
That's a great pick.
If anybody hasn't seen it, please check it out.
Oh,
It's an
absolutely.
awesome
It is.
freaking movie.
I haven't seen it in
werewolf film.
ages, but I don't always remember.
I like that one a lot. Dean, you.
Okay.
You, sir.
You go
All right,
now.
so if you've heard our other podcasts at all or know anything of me, you'll know that I'm a giant Alien fan. And so it's not my favorite of movies, but of female monsters, Syl, the alien from Species,
Yes.
designed
Natasha
by Richard
Henstridge.
Geiger.
Great choice.
Good pick.
Oh, he designed that
Yeah,
alien. Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
It is a really cool design too.
yeah. And if you look at some of the early designs for Alien, you can see some of his I'm going back to this sketch. And
Right. And she's hot.
I got
Yeah.
this back.
Natasha
Yeah,
Henstridge
she puts
also.
her
Yeah.
tongue
You're
right through
gonna
the guy's
go
head.
with a smile.
She has me right up until that point when she puts her tongue through the guy's head, and I'm like, oh, would I risk it?
The answer is yes.
Yes, you
Well, it's
would.
like the girl from
The
Teeth.
answer is yes.
Would you
It's
risk
like
it?
Yeah, maybe.
No.
Maybe. Yeah. I like to find out. I'm going a little sillier. I love Kathleen Turner.
Oh,
I was thinking about
One of my
runners-up.
Serial mom. I'm
One
going
of my
serial
runners-up.
mom.
Nothing wrong with that. That's a great pick.
Hilarious
John
movie.
Waters.
John Waters. Love John Waters films. And I've always loved Kathleen Turner, and she is just hysterical and kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? The casting is very unexpected.
Matthew
having-
Lillard.
Yeah.
Right.
Sam Waterston plays the husband.
That's right, yeah.
It's so funny.
That was like one of the first times I ever saw that guy do comedy because it's
Oh,
like,
yeah, he's like
a
big
McCoy.
giant dope
Not
in the
Hank
movie.
McCoy,
Yeah.
Jack McCoy.
Jack McCoy.
Yeah, and he's
Yeah.
like super funny in
He's like,
this.
they're like having sex and the kids can hear them. But yeah, everything. It's just a really funny, hilarious, and kind of unexpected film. And I've always loved Kathleen Turner, so that's the direction I went.
Same.
Nice.
And
That's
I
a
like
great
John
pick.
Waters. There's no Divine, R.I.P. Divine, but Still a great movie.
I watched that with you.
One. We watched Serial Mom.
Yeah, we watched
Pink
that.
Flamingos.
No,
because Pink Flamingos was a cable.
I never saw that one though. But
Pink Flamingos?
Yeah.
Yes, you did.
You never seen Pink Flamingo? You're missing
You weren't with us
out.
when
I
we
wasn't
were-
with you for
Mr.
that.
Oh, no
Eggman.
kidding.
Mr.
Oh,
Eggman.
man, we have to watch Pink
You never
Flamingos.
seen
Everybody needs
Divine
to see
give
that.
a blowjob to a flaccid penis before?
Oh, it's awesome.
Bummer.
Yeah, eats the dog
There's
shit.
some, there's some quality poop eating. in that.
It is.
Oh yeah.
I can't get enough of them.
All improvised.
It's on my bucket list. So I'll have to.
That was also the first time I ever heard the word gore.
Really?
Used as like a thing. The woman describes the hot poker is like covered in gore, and I'm like, what the fuck is gore? Like I know the term gore, but like it's gore. It was like
As
a
a
kidney
noun.
or something. I don't know. It's just like it's covered in gore. Like it's like the hormone.
Yeah, that's right.
Like tearing out hormone.
Is that like a piece of meat? A
Yeah,
hormone?
right. But I always thought that was hilarious.
Yeah.
Great film.
Good pick.
Good pick, Tito.
Mine's a little obvious, but it's still my favorite. Tiffany from Child's Play, the franchise. I
I
love
thought
Jennifer.
you were gonna go that way.
I did. I cannot. There aren't too many iconic female slashers. There's a lot. There's monsters and there's killers that have killed once, but there hasn't been a lot of franchise female slashers, and she's at the top for me. I'm a big Jennifer Tilly fan. I like the Chucky movies. I like what they're doing with her in the series. So that is mine.
Oh, she's on the show too.
Yeah,
She's still voiced by
everybody's on the show.
Still voiced by
Everybody's
Jennifer
on
Tilly?
the show. What?
Still voiced by
Still
Jennifer
voiced
Tilly.
by Jennifer Tilly.
Nice.
Yeah,
Check the
she
show out.
made it all.
Season
her
2
own.
finally dropped on Peacock.
Yeah.
They didn't have it for a long time, so I haven't been able to watch it.
Oh,
but-
good. I'll watch both of them.
Coming,
then.
yeah, it's good. I really like it. And yeah, I like her. She does some nasty ass killing in Bride of Chucky.
Yeah, she
The
does.
kills are incredible. So that's mine.
Nice.
Derek?
Mine is Pamela Voorhees.
Yeah.
There we go. There we go.
Yep.
Great pick,
I mean,
Derek.
only one movie, but she.
She comes back in Freddy vs. Jason as a head.
Yeah, that's true.
That's a good movie.
Yeah, that's
Is it though?
That's one of the better
Is it
movies
though?
I've ever
doing
seen.
it. He's doing it on purpose. I'm not going to play. I ain't playing your game, dude.
She's in the movie though.
That's true. She is. Well, she isn't.
Cannibal.
Betsy Palmer is not.
She's not.
No, she was smart enough to avoid that piece of shit. So.
I love her sweater, that yellow. She's
Oh,
just
yeah.
so, like,
And
I still want to
knit.
hang out with her. You still want to hang out with her.
Hug her.
What?
Yeah, she looks like she's probably nice.
She's really nice. She's just
When you don't let her
really
kid
loved
die,
her
she's
son.
pretty cool,
Yeah.
I'm sure.
She's just a very protective mom.
Very
Yeah,
protective.
she's wearing a nice sweater.
If your kid
Couple of good
drowned,
moms on our list. You know?
if your kid drowned because the camp counselors were making love, you'd be mad too.
Making love.
They were making love when she died or he died.
Mark Ethel Merman Macrina.
Oh,
Making what,
they
baby?
making love.
What's his problem?
Severe shell shock. Thinks he's Ethel Merman.
You'll be swell. You'll be great. Gonna have the whole world on a plate. Starting here. Starting now. Honey.
Fasten your seatbelt. Oh no, that's
there we go.
that's not
That's
Ethel
Betty
Merman.
Davis.
That's Betty Davis.
It's going to be a bumpy night. All right, so
you
we
got
got runners
backups?
up? Yeah, I
Yeah.
got backups. Sure I do. I had Serial Mom, which Tito picked, which is a great movie. I have Ma, which Derek brought up a couple of weeks ago.
Yes.
Octavia Spencer.
Yep.
She's good.
Death Proof, where all the girls get revenge
That's true.
on Stuntman Mike.
Oh, that's a good.
I've got Promising Young Woman.
Oh, man.
Yes.
That movie's fucking
Yes,
awesome.
it is.
It is.
Yes, starring I forget the actress's name, but she was Sally Sparrow in Doctor Who, the episode that introduced the Weeping Angels. I've also got Carrie.
Yep.
Sissy Spacek going on a rampage, and the movie Life Force, directed by Tobe Hooper from
I was going to
1986.
put that down. But technically, she's not a woman. She's an
alien, but
force.
she's in the form
I
of
don't know,
a
man.
woman.
Those boobs are
You
pretty
don't see her as anything other than a woman.
Yeah.
A very naked woman played by Matilda May, only listed as Space Girl in the
Oh,
credits.
and she's gorgeous.
Oh, she really is, and she doesn't wear a stitch through the whole movie.
Carrie Mulligan is the
Yeah.
actress from.
Yes, thank you, Carrie
Mulligan.
Mulligan.
I'm so happy you brought up Life
I
Force.
love Life
I just
Force, man.
watched it like 2 weeks
Patrick
ago.
Stewart's in it.
Yes.
Great movie.
I've never seen it.
I
Yeah.
always forget that's a Tobe
It's a
Hooper.
Space
It's a-
vampires.
I
Yeah,
got a
it
couple
is.
that
It's
you
Space
left out.
Vampires.
A big one, Sleepaway Camp Angela.
Oh, yes.
Oh,
Good pick.
And since we're talking about Hammer movies, we can't leave out Ingrid Pitt as Carmilla.
Oh,
you
yes.
cannot. You can't
Or
leave her
Countess
out.
Dracula.
Or Countess Dracula.
Excuse me.
I had Marie from High Tension.
Yeah.
Oh, good one.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
She is the killer.
Spoilers.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
It's a fun movie though. And Asami, this movie's so fucked up. Audition. Yeah. I just remember like watching.
I've never seen it.
Like, man, this movie's so
I've never
fucked
seen
up.
Audition.
That movie's fucking
It's so
great.
weird.
It's so great.
She like pukes in a bowl and makes the guy eat it.
Yeah.
It's so fucking strange, but really surprising. And she's amazing as this very meek, seeming woman who is just a fucking terror. I don't know that I necessarily like the movie, but she's pretty fucking good in it.
I like that movie because of her.
And
She
terrifying.
makes that
Yeah.
movie. It's a terrifying
for sure.
film.
Nice.
Yeah, it makes you wince a couple of times. I had Julia from Hellraiser, also the girl from Audition, Angelica Houston from The Witches, and Rebecca Gayheart from Urban Legend.
Oh, right.
She's the killer at the end.
Yeah,
The Noxzema girl.
Yeah, and she survives. There's that little cliffhanger of
her as a
still
nurse.
surviving, and she's like, "Oh, let me tell you what really happened." I'm gonna just do Ethel Merman for everything now.
You should.
Honey, everything's coming up right.
Let
No
me tell
Kathy
you
Bates.
the true story. Too obvious, and
Too
I've
obvious?
talked about it.
Yeah.
I was trying to go with something
No
else.
Kathy Bates.
Yeah, and I was looking for somebody that had more
Oh,
than
we
one
didn't get
film.
to you.
No, we haven't yet.
Oh, sorry, Derek. Go ahead.
Annie Wilkes.
Okay.
There we go. There we go.
We started with Derek.
He's giving the eye.
No, and a lot of them already
Sorry,
got said. Annie Wilkes, Carrie, Asami, Beverly Sutphin, who's Sarah the mom, and Marie from High Tension. Those have already been said. But I also had Catherine Trammell from Basic Instinct.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
That is embedded in my memory.
Wait, but
as
was
a
it her
teenager.
though, or was it the other girl?
Well, it was
Oh,
implied that it might be at the end because the ice pick was under her bed
Right.
in the
that's
final
true.
scene.
That's right. But she decides not to go
Yes.
for it.
Right.
Okay. All right.
I thought about that one too, but I wondered also because of the end if she qualified.
Yes.
Esther Coleman from Orphan.
I
Oh,
never
yeah.
saw that.
Yep.
Yeah.
And baby and mother Firefly from House of a Thousand Corpses.
Yes.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Yep.
So
I remembered one with you guys bringing up High Tension from the same. I think it was on the same line of DVDs when it came out. From Inside, I don't remember the woman's name, but she was the woman trying to steal the other woman's baby. From it's like a home invasion. If you haven't seen it,
I was thinking of that movie with Rebecca De Mornay.
Oh,
Was it Hand That Rocks the Cradle?
Yeah.
no,
That's a good
Ernie
one
Hudson
too.
gets
Yes.
impaled by the fence.
Yes.
No, this is a French movie,
that's a
and
good
it
one.
is it's a basic home invasion movie, but it's a pregnant woman trying to fend off this other woman who's trying to cut her baby out of her.
Ooh.
And it is super tense.
It sounds like it.
I
Yeah.
Probably saw it.
I don't know if I've seen it, but I've seen something similar.
But I think I'm trying to remember. High Tension came out in those line of DVDs that they were getting like some
right.
foreign and higher end.
And that one was really good.
Yeah, that was I
It
remember,
was a slow burn, but like
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember that being released in theaters. That was like a period of time where it was like every once in a while, like a foreign film would be big enough for America to let it be in a
Right.
theater.
Like
I saw
Crouching
that in the
Tiger, Hidden
theater.
Dragon.
Yeah, right. I saw it in the theaters. I was like,
trailer
this isn't fucking French. What are we doing here?
What, I got to read?
and the trailer had like an awesome like cover of I think it's a Carpenter song.
See, I don't remember that in the theaters at all.
Love me,
Oh,
baby.
yeah.
That song. But it's like
High Tension?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw it in the theaters. I made my wife go with me.
I
Yeah.
did too.
I was like, oh, I want to see that. That looks cool. And
Yeah.
in the end, I was like, oh, cool twist.
Yeah.
I kind of remember that being used because it's the
Yeah.
it's the version.
Soul Asylum.
No.
They did do a cover of that song.
Did they?
I think, or was not Soul Asylum, Sonic Youth.
Yes.
Was it
Sonic
Sonic
Youth.
Youth?
That's right.
Yeah.
Is that the version?
I think they use it on Juno as well, but I'm not positive.
Because it's on a Carpenter's.
Yeah, Superstar.
Yeah.
It's a Carpenter song, and it was Sonic Youth that did the cover.
There you go.
Good
And
call.
Speaking of Juno, Ellen or Elliot Page now was in Hard Candy.
That's right.
Yep.
There's
That's
that.
right. That was good.
You've got the girl from Play Misty for me.
Oh
There's-
yeah.
Yep. That wasn't Sandra Lockhart, but it was a Clint Eastwood movie. One of
Yep.
his, I think it was the first movie he directed himself.
Was it really?
Was play
you
Misty
probably-
for me.
Does the Crush count with Alicia Silverstone?
Oh, swim fan.
Yeah. Oh, swim fan. Erica Christensen.
Yeah.
Yeah, see,
I
there's
had
a lot.
huge crush
Now
on
we're
her.
talking.
I'm surprised nobody brought up Monster with Charlize Theron.
I did not.
As Eileen
I
Werner.
didn't think about
Yeah.
that one.
We also
So
didn't
it's based
say
on a true story.
I'm upset that I missed
The
the
Lizzie Borden
Firefly
movie?
Yeah.
Reptile, which we watched.
Oh,
That's
and the-
right. Yeah.
And the Gorgon.
Yep. Oh
Yeah.
yeah, the Gorgon.
And they don't have names, but the two, the mother and the daughter from Stranger Things, at least I think they're a family. They may just, not Stranger Things, fucking The Strangers.
Strike that. Reverse it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I was going to
there
say
was
Stranger
two,
Things.
Yeah, there was a young girl, there was a woman and a man. I don't
Right.
know if they were a family or not, but, I like that, especially the girl who's always knocking and asking if Tamara is home. And That's a great film. Might do that. Yeah, I love that movie. All right,
Yeah,
well, anyway.
I'd see it.
Any more runners up?
I think we've covered a lot.
All right, good appetizers.
It was a
everybody.
good one.
Way to go.
I really thought that this
Way to
was going to
go.
be hard to pick.
Yeah.
It isn't.
But no, there are plenty of female.
More dangerous women out
Horror
there than you
loves
think.
the ladies. And
Yeah.
I'm sure there's a lot more we haven't even thought of. So
Right.
let us know, folks at home.
Yeah, if we've missed
forgot
any,
I'm sure we've
let us
forgot
know.
a bunch.
Besides Species and Child's Play, like how many actually got franchises?
Well, Sleepaway Camp
Sleepaway Camp.
was a big one that I should have known.
Hello,
Happy
Mary
birthday to
Lou,
me.
Prom Night 2.
Yep. The prom
That's
night
right,
movies.
prom
No,
night
was
movies.
the prom night killer in the first one? Jesus, it's been so long. I can't remember if it was that was a guy, right?
Yeah, and I think she comes back in the
Yeah.
second.
Okay.
I think.
I was
But it's not.
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Was there a female killer in April Fool's Day? Or was that all
there
fake?
was
That's
no
all a
killer.
joke.
There was no
It was all
killer.
a
I-
joke.
Oh, you know,
It's been a while since I've seen it, but I remember there was a
Scream,
fake out.
The second Scream.
Oh,
Yeah.
Some of the other Screams.
What's her name from Roseanne? And
Yeah, Becky,
some of the
Laurie
leads.
Metcalf.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then
Laurie Metcalf. that's
Emma,
right.
Emma Roberts in the fourth.
Yeah.
Emma Roberts. and
So
then-
there's also,
yeah.
you guys may not remember, there's a movie called Home for the Holidays that it was a made-for-TV movie with, and it's a basic slasher, like woman killing or person killing a bunch of people on a Thanksgiving getaway, and it's Sally Field is the murderer.
Oh, no
in that
kidding.
one, yeah.
One
No,
of
I
the
haven't
greatest
heard of that
actors of our generation.
That's right.
Yeah, Sally Field.
Do you want to kill people? Sure, we all do.
No, that's Sally Struthers.
Oh,
right?
Sally
Kid
Struthers.
goes crazy.
You're right.
Strike that. Reverse it.
I just thought of one, and then I lost it. No, I got it again. Kirsty Swanson from Deadly Friend. Who remembers that Wes Craven gem?
Oh, yeah.
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 It's like a female.
She killed somebody with a
Franken-killer.
basketball. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and then you got female ghosts
Got
like
Bride
the
of
Grudge
Frankenstein,
and,
the-
and
Yeah.
the
Oh,
Ring.
the Ring. The
Yeah.
Grudge,
Okay, good.
right.
I'm glad we all
Yeah.
we agree with that. Awesome. Excellent appetizers, everyone. On to the main course.
The main
The
course.
main course.
His dinner's in the oven.
Some actors are just meant to play Dracula, and some are not. I'm looking at you, guy from Van Helsing. And some actors are meant to play Dracula more than once because they are just so damn good at it. When discussing Dracula, I often comment on how the role will forever belong to Bela Lugosi and be associated with Bela Lugosi, the look, the accent, the mannerisms. But in truth, when it comes to actually playing the infamous Count, Lugosi has nothing on the other all-time champion, Christopher Lee. While Lugosi played many vampires and donned the cape as the Count in the theater many times, he only played Dracula on the big screen twice, the original and Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein. Christopher Lee may come in second in terms of mainstream iconography, but in terms of body of work, Christopher Lee has perhaps not only played the role more than any other actor, but also added to what we know as the essential design of the classic vampire: bloodshot eyes and large, sharp fangs. Christopher Lee always presented a more physically imposing Dracula, strong and savage, able to scuffle with the best vampire hunter. After Horror of Dracula, Hammer wanted to continue on with the Dracula legacy, and Christopher Lee had no interest. But after Brides of Dracula, Christopher Lee returned as the Count. But he would not speak. Why? Well, according to him, the lines were just terrible. And according to other people, the lines were just terrible. You know, Dean will explain it better than I do. Let's just get through this intro. But he does not speak, much like Vampira and Plan 9 from Outer Space, but with far better results. Luckily, that condition was short-lived because for the several Draculas to follow, Lee once again became verbal and, in my opinion, better with many of the movies after. However, this film does give us something different. A Dracula with no words, but who still manages to command such a performance on screen. Prince of Darkness has all the trappings of the classic Hammer vampire movie, but also throws in the classic old dark house formula, with two tourist couples showing up at Dracula's doorstep while on vacation or holiday, if you will. But as we know, a night in Castle Dracula is anything but a good time. But always a good time for us, especially when we're doing one of our heading toward Halloween Hammer series, which is not easy to say, but it's still so fun. Anyway, in
Just
short,
call it Hammer Halloween.
boys. I should at this point, right? Either way, however you look at it, it's Hammer time.
Transylvania, land of dark forests, dread mountains, and black, unfathomed lakes.
Isn't the thing that's dead supposed to be dead for all time? Yet we brought it back to life.
Gentlemen, no ordinary wolf who has done this thing.
What are you afraid of?
I'm not afraid of this, but I love it. And I'll tell you, I'm afraid that Hammer is just getting closer and closer to Halloween. We're going to have to keep changing this title. We got to start earlier next year, Brian.
Halloween Hammers.
Agreed.
Agreed. Okay. Yeah. Opening thoughts. Who's still Brian?
It's
opening
me.
thoughts on
love
Dracula,
this movie.
Prince of Darkness.
I love all the Dracula movies, pretty much. It, with the exception of, I think, Satanic Rites and, well, even the martial arts one. The Legend of the Seven Golden Dragons. That was kind of fun, but
one of my favorites. It bummed me out a little bit.
A little bit. No. I do love this one though. I love the premise where the unsuspecting couple show up at Castle Dracula, despite the many warnings not to go to Castle Dracula. They still go. They still open up the door. They still go inside, and chaos ensues.
The movie would be a lot shorter if they did.
It really would have. Yeah. It really would have. But I still love it. I love Christopher Lee as his feral best. I love
Father Shandor.
I love Father Shandor. Yeah. What's the actor's name though? Andrew Keir?
Andrew Keir.
Andrew Keir.
Yeah. Quatermass.
Love him. Yes, from Quatermass. He's awesome in it. I really wish we had gotten more of him in subsequent Dracula films. I love what's her name?
Barbara Steele.
Nope. Barbara Shelley. Barbara Shelley.
I knew I was going to say the wrong
There's
thing.
so many Hammer babes I'm trying to think of, and
you were close.
Yeah. So Barbara Shelley, her transformation from timid school marmish kind of overbearing wife to vampish, sultry vampire. It's just great. It's just great. And she's the only vampire, I think, in Hammer films that gets killed alive.
Yeah.
She's not sleeping when she gets staked.
Or at least the first one.
Yes.
Yeah, she is the first one, because the vampire woman in Scars of Dracula. Is she awake or is she sleeping? Remember Dracula stabs her repeatedly?
Oh, she is awake.
She's awake for that
she is
one.
awake.
But that one came. So you're right.
This might be the first one then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
not the only, but the first.
The first one in history. Like, it's not only just in Hammer, but
right.
I think it is the first.
Agreed. Yeah, no, there's just so much good about this movie, and I love it. Clove, as Dracula's manservant, is great. Just the set dressing is awesome. It's sumptuous. It's so colorful. It's the peak of Hammer, almost. It's I can't say enough good about this movie.
Awesome.
Excellent.
Good. Dean?
Yeah, Brian and I are almost always on the same page for the Hammer movies, because this one is one of my favorites, if not my favorite.
Howard Johnson is right.
I can never remember which name. Like, I love my Hammer movies, but I can never remember which name goes with which movie.
I get this one confused with Dracula Has Risen from the Grave all the time.
These ones that came out, like, because they're only like a year apart.
They are. After this, they start pumping them out like every year.
And so I frequently get the names confused, but this is I'm like, all right, the one with the couples, because I love the couples and the setup. And I love the slow burn in the beginning. The first bit of action doesn't actually happen till exactly halfway through the movie.
That's right. You were noticing that.
45. I actually paused it to find out what the timing was when the first murder takes place, and it's like, but you don't even notice. Like when I heard that, like how late it started, I'm like, no. And then I actually looked at the counter like, wow, that is halfway through. But you get to like these characters, and they're still archetypes, but they really do get to like them. So this is one of my favorites, and I really would just be repeating what you said to go on. But I also love Father Shandor as as a Van Helsing replacement. Just such a great character, which we'll get into more.
Is he dubbed?
No.
I don't think
No?
so.
No,
Sometimes when they're talking, it feels like they're dubbed.
Well, they might have been looped on a
Looped
soundstage later,
yeah.
but it was that actor that did his voice.
But that
was
happens
Andrew Keir.
sometimes, right?
Oh, yeah.
That.
Well,
all the time.
Almost all movies are looped.
Yeah.
Like in,
No, but I mean, as far as like voices being changed.
Well,
Barbara
Shelley in this,
Right, her scream.
Her scream is
Yeah.
somebody else's.
is
Yeah.
the
German
other
actress.
woman's
Yes.
scream.
I thought I remember us seeing another movie where the actress's voice was replaced by.
Hammer did that a couple of times.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
But they
replaced
didn't
actors'
like-
voices. I think they did it to Ingrid Pitt even in one movie, and
Yes.
they did it to
I think we
one of
talked
the
about it
Yeah,
last
we
year,
did.
right? Or one of
yes,
these. Yeah.
and they did it to one of the other female actresses in one of the Constantine movies.
Oh, was it the twins one?
It was the twins.
It was the one with the twins.
The twins,
We were
because
talking about,
exactly,
Yeah, we were talking about the twins
their
movie.
voices were overdubbed by somebody else because their accents were so
Were
thick.
too heavy. Yeah,
Yes.
okay.
Mhm.
So then I just assumed that like when he started talking, and I really like this character a lot too, the Father Shandor. It was so much grander than everyone else that it felt like it just came.
He's just
later.
a grander actor.
Yeah, maybe. I also really like him as a replacement for like a Van Helsing. The movie moves a little bit slow for me. I think the last movie spoiled me a little bit. I liked it so much that I want every movie to be that interesting for me.
Yeah. Jekyll
and Sister Hyde.
Yeah, yeah.
Where it's a Dracula movie, and damn, I grew up with Christopher Lee, and he had speaking lines. So when he doesn't speak, I'm just like waiting for it to happen, because it can be really good, and you know it would be really good if he spoke. But he is very menacing and really scary, and he definitely portrays that in the film. But yeah, I thought it was a solid movie. I haven't seen nearly as many as you guys. And again, that last movie really knocked me off my feet. But yeah, this was a fun movie, and there were some fun characters. The couples are kind of, I almost feel like they maybe get too much screen time, because they can be they drag a little bit for me at certain points. But I will say their updos, fucking phenomenal updos.
I made the
those
same comment to my wife,
hairstyles
like-
are so good. They're so good. When she put her hair down, I was like, oh, she put so much work into that updo. But it's not a bad movie. It's good. I liked it.
Yeah, I like this one a lot. I like when Dracula faces off against a holy person, or like in Dracula Has Risen from the Grave. He's got to take on the Monsignor, and I love Shandor in this movie. And this movie, I kind of agree with Tito. I love Christopher Lee. I do love when he talks. So there is a couple of points taken off from me when he doesn't speak. I understand, like if the story's true, then I understand why he wouldn't. But it just his voice is so powerful. It's like part of the Dracula persona. I think you're kind of missing a little bit of it, but on the other side of that, he still can carry the movie even when he's not speaking. That's just talent right there. The cast is great. I don't mind the couples. They have a lovely back and forth, all four of them. There's good chemistry between them. Yet you don't mind seeing them killed. You don't hate them.
Yeah.
Which I find is with a lot of horror films, especially now, you hate so many of the characters, you want them dead.
I want him dead. I want his family dead. I want his house burnt to the ground. I want to go to the middle of the night. I want to piss on his head.
I didn't want them dead, but I didn't mind if they died, because you knew what was going to happen, if that makes any sense. So, but they were all fine. Everybody was really good, and I love all the Dracula films. Like Brian, pretty much all of them have something to offer. Some are better than others, but I think I've been entertained by all of them.
Yeah.
So that's mine. Derek.
I guess I'm the uncultured swine.
Oh.
One of these things is not like the others.
Once again, Sticky Finger strikes again.
I stand alone.
Here we go.
Out of all the Dracula ones that I've seen, I don't think I've seen all of them. I think there's got to be one or two that I haven't seen yet. But this one's my least favorite.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm sorry, Dean.
I came for this.
Good day, sir.
Oh well, I mean, I like of all the ones I've seen, I like Dracula AD the best. I've only seen this one, that, and then the first one.
I've seen it.
I like that
handful.
fucking weirdo hippie one.
I think there's like maybe Scars I haven't seen, or maybe
Have you seen Dracula Has Risen from the Grave?
Maybe that's the one that
because
I
actually like those two better than this.
I remember the one with the
although
Monsignor. That's
Dracula Has Risen
from the Grave.
Yeah, that's my favorite.
So that one I've seen.
Of the sequels. I mean, the first one is still my all-time favorite, but if we're talking sequels, it's Dracula Has Risen from the Grave.
I mean, with the exception of Father Shandor and Dracula himself, the rest of the characters are just blah. I'm unlike you guys. I can't stand any of the two couples.
You want them gone?
Totally rooting for them to die.
I want him dead. I want his family dead. I want his house burnt to the ground. I want to go to the middle of the night. I want to piss on his head.
And I know the point of these movies is really not like you're rooting for Dracula. Everybody's rooting for Christopher Lee in these movies.
You know, I'm always rooting for the vampire killer. And any vampire movie.
That's true.
I'm a hunter guy. I love hunters. I think
But
it's a cool profession.
I just they don't give me a reason to want them to be safe, and I think Dracula takes too long to off them. I mean, I like that the kind of prudish one becomes a vampire. Like that part was like
when she becomes a vampire, I thought you picked Helen. Right. There wasn't a better fucking.
I just I mean, and it was, and you know, just like you said, obviously it would be a very short movie if they were just like. Let's on second thought, let's not go to Castle Dracula. It's a silly place.
Yeah, well,
you know?
that could be said for most horror films,
right?
though.
Yeah,
but I don't know. There's just this one just didn't entertain me like the other ones do. So I'm sorry.
Apology accepted.
You don't have to apologize.
Fair.
It's
fair.
Apologize to us.
opinion,
Apologize
sir.
to Christopher Lee.
Yeah.
and well, then that's the thing too. Is Christopher Lee like I'm like the fact that he doesn't speak. I actually like that.
I did too.
Like, I think he's so much more
menacing,
without speaking.
Yeah, I think there's only one place, and that's kind of when he first comes out and kind of gets Diana away from Helen, that you kind of almost expect there to be a line. And outside of that, you don't expect any lines out of him, because most of his appearances in it are super like animal and like I'm gonna take what you've got. Like,
he just has so many great lines in other movies. Who has done this thing?
Who has done this thing?
And the blade is very sharp.
So he's got great lines in other movies. Yeah. But if you look at the Dracula movies as a whole, he doesn't have a lot of dialogue.
No, he doesn't.
As Dracula.
No, he just kind of hangs out. Yeah. You pointed this out. I think somebody pointed out how he just hangs out a lot, and I think it was when we were doing Dracula AD, and just lets people come to him.
Oh yeah, that one he is basically like, okay, it's someone else's job now.
Yeah, like he just
he really
laying in
his
coffin with his eyes open, just kind of like laying there with his eyes open. I'm like, oh, this is odd. Yeah, he's like, I'll get him. I'm getting around to it. We'll get him.
That's again. I hate to keep bringing this up because one day we will do.
Just
this
got out of the coffin, man.
That's why I like Scars, because there's a moment when he does something other than lurking around the castle. He stabs one of his vampire women and it just goes like all Michael Myers on this girl. That's the most I've ever seen this Dracula do. Yeah. He doesn't have his henchmen do it. He's like, oh, I'm taking care of this bitch myself. And so, all right. Yeah. Someday we'll talk about it. Someday we'll get to this movie. The many HAMMER Dracula movies. Scars of Dracula.
Scars of Dracula. Yeah. There's still time.
Yep. There is, I think so.
Scars is the last period Dracula HAMMER.
Before they went to the modern age.
Scars has some beautiful women in it. It doesn't have a vampire hunter, though, so you may not dig this one, Tito. There's no vampire hunter to root for. But enough about that. Back to this one. Was there anything else, Derek?
No, that's it.
Okay. So you're off to Dean's Christmas list. But other than that...
I'm sorry.
All of your points are valid.
They're wrong, but valid. No.
Well, and I think now too, because I'm one of the ones that haven't seen a lot of these. Granted, since we've started doing these, I've seen a lot because of the show. But like Tito, like once you've seen like some like really outstanding ones, it's like I go in and I'm like, oh, it's a HAMMER movie. This is gonna be awesome. So if it doesn't really deliver like ones that I've seen before, then I take it harder. I guess.
It makes sense.
So it's funny because it's all, I would even disagree with Tito that AD 1972, I'd put that at the bottom of my list.
Would you really?
But it is a like I love them all in a weird like they're all my ugly children. Like, scary. But you know, it depends on what our tastes are and where you come at it too. Because there is like I listened to your podcast last week and Tito was talking about like understanding the vocabulary of a Hammer film, that like you're gonna go up, you're gonna fight, and you're gonna kill Dracula, and then it's over.
Yeah, right, right.
It's like driving
like,
it
as soon
first
as the
into a
monster's
wall.
dead.
Yeah.
And it's like if you're not used to that too, you're like, oh, I can't wait for a nice relaxing denouement. And
well, that's at the end of this movie when he falls into the water. I'm like, oh, the end. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, no,
this is how they do it. Okay,
and it's
okay.
almost
Now
like
I got it.
Like I kind of wish that they didn't always follow that rule, because you could, like, especially the fact that they carry these on and they do so many of them. Like, stop killing Dracula. Like he's gonna come back, so why bother? And he always gets brought back in a different way.
Then you wouldn't
just
have
him
the movie.
escape.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, that's everybody, though. That's Freddy, that's Jason,
but how
Michael Myers.
satisfying is an
Stop killing him.
escape? Like, oh, he got away.
That's really great how he comes back, though, when the blood drips
in this
on them.
one. Oh, absolutely.
Fucking awesome. That was awesome.
And even though it's a silly rule, I do love when they're shooting the ice and the water is bubbling up. And it reminds me of Fright Night when they're shattering the windows.
Yeah.
And each ray of sunlight is like
it
cornering
is.
them.
It is a super creative way to kill them off.
Yeah. And we've talked about this before, the whole running water killing a vampire thing.
It's ridiculous, but I love it.
Mhm.
I love the vampire rules, all of them. I don't like when vampire movies ignore them.
Yeah.
Just take away the fun.
Yeah.
They got to hate crosses.
Hammer killed a vampire with a shower.
Yeah, I was going to say.
In 1872, They killed Johnny Alucard in the shower.
That's the Target Malcolm McDowell.
Exactly. It's running
that
water.
was a fun movie.
That was
What
a
was the
fun
band
movie.
in that? That awesome band.
Stone Ground.
Stone Ground. Great band.
Yep.
Dean, what
Alligator
is that?
Man.
Come on.
Tito, it's Alligator Man with their
Alligator
song.
Man. What a great band. That was so fun and random.
I rewatched that when I was watching Prince of Darkness and Dr. Jekyll and Sister Hyde. I'm like, I'm going to watch Dracula AD again. 'Cause I love
And you
that
think
movie.
that band's good? You should see. What was it? The Monster Party? Is that
Oh, the
one?
Monster Party one.
Where they it's almost like music videos in between vignettes.
Monster Party's phenomenal.
Right? It's awesome. They've got a lot of good music in that one too.
Is that the one with Vincent Price?
And there's like stories that's vignettes, but like in between,
and
they're
It's
at
all
this
stories
club.
by R. Chetwynd Haynes.
Oh, wait a minute.
Oh,
Did we
yeah?
watch that? Is that the one? The movie where
We
he has
watched
the
it,
board?
I'm sorry,
Yes,
not
and they,
Monster Party.
they break down the different
one.
races of monsters.
I'm going to
Right,
correct
the
you guys.
ghouls.
I'm like, I know I'm saying this wrong because it is one of my favorite movies, Monster Club.
Monster Club. Yes. I'm
Yes,
sorry.
all right.
Oh, okay. Not the Monster Party.
Because Monster Party, isn't that the animated one? What was that one?
Mad Monster
Monster
Party.
Party.
Monster Party.
Yeah.
Was
It's
the
a Rankin Bass.
Yeah.
Monster Club. Was the
Monster Club is the last of, I believe it's the last of the
Amicus ones.
movies.
Yeah, I believe you're right.
Oh, that was a separate company.
Yeah.
correct?
Yes.
This is
But
we
similar.
watched that here.
Yeah.
And
I think we did.
He was watching some of that with us. We were watching it. Joe Bob was doing that movie.
Yes.
So we were.
Oh,
watching
that's what it
some of
was.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they have a lot of similar, and they use a lot of the same actors. That
Well, the people that started Amicus wanted to work for Hammer,
Right.
and Hammer wasn't having it. They're like, well, no, we've got enough people, and so they went and they formed their own company.
Yeah, they were the Image.
They were
Comics of
Americans, weren't
British
they?
horror.
They were Americans, and they brought their stuff to Hammer. I thought, maybe one of them was.
I don't know much.
I know it was
love
a pair
the
of guys.
Amicus movies. I don't know much about the history.
Yeah,
of
I think it was a pair of guys, and if I remember right, I think at least one of them, if not both of them, were Americans. And so they went to Hammer saying, "Hey, we've got ideas too," and they were like, we're kind of good, So,
Screw you.
they went, they started their own film company, and
There you go.
Well, it's funny because before I didn't know about them, and because we were watching Hammer,
right, yeah.
there's two movies that are totally two of my favorites, and they're not Hammer. They're
no,
Amicus.
The House That Dripped Blood.
The House That Dripped Blood, and the Beast Must Die.
Yep.
And I did not know. I'm like, oh well, Peter Cushing, Christopher Lee.
That's right.
It's gonna be it. It's
Oh,
gonna be
yeah.
him.
A werewolf movie.
Right.
Tales from the Crypt, Vault of Horror.
Right. Yep.
Asylum.
They did a lot of anthology
Yeah.
movies.
Some fantastic ones.
Oh, that Tales from the Crypt one's good.
Are you
Do we
doing?
get everybody?
Are you doing
the,
sections?
Oh, we got the categories going. All right.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
I was
wasn't
looking
sure
up
if
the
we were
owners
gonna
of
do them.
Amicus.
Yeah. Okay.
One of them, so
Oh, you're looking.
Milton Sabatsky
Yep.
was from New York.
Oh, really?
And Max Rosenberg was also from New York.
Yeah.
Yeah, a couple of Yanks
I did
Yeah.
not
went
know
to
that.
England and were like,
Yeah.
hey, guys, can we have
Because
some fun?
they're all very the movies are very English.
They are.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, posers. Make some American shit, guys.
The Ted Lassos of the horror genre.
Although now that I think about it, like I feel like some Americans would make a movie where there's a board that's like, when this one goes with this one,
exactly,
it's cool,
the
and then
crossbreeding of your monsters.
That part's fucking hysterical.
Yeah, if a vampire has sex with a ghoul, it's a gabagool.
Back at the side.
They actually sold at New York Comic Con 5 years ago. They sold prints of that.
Did they really? Awesome.
They were super expensive.
I would like a shirt of that.
Dean will make you one.
Christmas is coming, Tito.
Right.
I'll find it.
Oh, there you go.
Keep my eye out. Keep your eye out. Favorite scenes?
Oh, my favorite scene has to be when Clove finally gets the husband and strings him up after killing him, and then drains his blood into the sarcophagus
Resurrection.
that has Dracula's ashes. That's the best scene ever.
That's a pretty awesome scene.
It is. It really is.
That thing looks like Christopher Lee too.
Yeah.
As it's
Yeah.
where you're like,
That's
oh
a-
shit, that looks. It's gonna
Yeah.
be Christopher Lee.
It's
Yeah.
super
That's
impressive
pretty damn good.
It is.
Yeah.
It's a hell of a resurrection scene.
Yeah, me too.
Howard Johnson is right.
That's why I'm just a guest to reiterate what Brian
Sorry,
said.
Dean. I'm just going to mute my mic and you can.
Yeah, no, that scene is amazing. Like it is, there's such a slow build to it, and even the scene before it, you get two shots, and again, kind of where I am disagreeing with the complaints or observations of the slowness of it.
Yeah.
There's actually kind of unlike the other Hammer movies that do, like, in comparison to Horror of Dracula, where everything's moving,
Right.
this one purposefully takes its time, and kind of unlike movies of Hammer or even of this genre at this time, they leave you with two shots of just empty hallways before you have an empty establishing shot or just an overall establishing shot, then one empty hallway and then another empty hallway before that scene starts. And then you move into the couple, and then you actually see Clove dragging that chest real slowly down the hallway. And there's this like slow build, and this guy is going to his death. Like there is and he's like, he's a bit of a schlump. He's like, kind of like, my wife is afraid and really uptight, and I'm just,
But I married her.
Live and let live.
Yeah.
And he doesn't believe in any of the supernatural stuff, and then when he gets hung upside down, which I always get mixed up with the church bell.
Yes.
In the later.
That's
Dracula has risen from the grave. That opens the
And
movie.
I always think he's hanging from a church bell, but no, that's the other movie. And when his throat gets slit, you don't see anything, but
No.
the perception of it is that's really violent.
For sure.
The amount of gore that comes out of him.
Yeah.
Even though it's like super bright hammer.
Oh, yeah. It's just red
still-
paint.
And then the effect, like you
it's
said,
so good.
of
It is.
him
That
coming
hammer blood.
back. That's a really good. It reminds me a bit of the bodies evolving in Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
Yeah.
Like it's this layers of skin
Dissolve
and
and
veins,
yes.
and is really good. When you see some of the other effects that are in these movies, and look at that effect, it's really good.
It really is.
Yeah.
And Dracula coming
super
back
impressive.
naked is kind of a cool, nice little detail too.
Thanks.
So that's mine.
I like when we have people like Dean who make us all sound like idiots.
No, that's not that hard to do.
That's my
Tito, we make
favorite
ourselves sound like
scene,
idiots.
too.
The enormity of their stupidity is just overwhelming.
Because of all the pretty colors.
Not a song.
But so that's a great scene. It's definitely one of mine. But you guys killed it when you talked about it. So
Bastard.
in a good way.
Oh, never mind.
So it's tough when I watch it because I think the opening is really fucking awesome. I like the narration over it. I like the recap with Peter Cushing, and it bums me out as I'm watching the movie. I think a little bit because I'm like, oh, Peter Cushing should be in this movie. This would be fun. But he's not. But the recap is so really, really good. And then this is just something that just tickled me. It seems like everybody kind of dislikes Helen, even Dracula. There's a point where he just like shoves her away. Like, fuck, I can't believe I turned you into a vampire.
Now I have to deal with you for all eternity.
She like grabs him and he's like, no, what did I don't want you. Get out of here, you.
Vampires gotta eat.
I want your prettier sister-in-law.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, sir.
Right?
Yeah, maybe she'll be less annoying.
That should crack me up. But yeah, the scene where Dracula comes back is just fucking phenomenal and well done.
I got the again the ending where they're shooting at the ice. I just think is an awesome way to kill Dracula and a different way to kill Dracula. And I like the first. I think it's the first appearance of Shandor. If not, it's when he meets the couple and he's warming his ass by the fire.
Great scene.
Oh, it's
Great
they don't know what to
scene.
make of this guy and the lines. You know, my oh God, I can't remember him.
My order doesn't afford me many pleasures, but a warm posterior is one of them.
Thank you. That's my quote. By the way,
now my favorite quote and my favorite
that was
scene
my
gone.
favorite quote. I love that scene and I love that actor. But those are always the scenes that stick out. And but you guys have already brought it. His resurrection, if you will, is fucking fantastic. And I like the build-up. I do like build-ups in movies, especially if monsters I've seen before many times, because we disagree on this one, but I like that you don't see Jason very much in Jason Goes to Hell. You see him once in the beginning, and you know he's going to come back because he's doing all that body jumping.
Yeah.
But it's not till the very fucking end, and damn, it's worth it for me. And even the latest Halloween movie, like we don't get to Michael Myers right away, and I just love when they build up to those moments, and I like that in this movie as well. So that's a great return for him. The resurrection scene is awesome. Those are mine. Derek?
Mine have already been said. I was gonna say the resurrection, and then my other one was Father Shandor warming his ass.
It's like you think there's only two good scenes in this movie.
And that was actually the second scene with him, because the first scene at the beginning of the movie,
right.
I swear it was like almost the same. It starts off and it's almost like the first Hammer movie is that I watched with you guys. And it had like the Black Lake and the almost like dusk kind of in the woods.
Oh, that was Brides of Dracula.
Was that the first one?
And Kiss of the Vampire starts almost the exact same way.
Yes.
Too.
And that's what it reminded me of, like the shot of the woods, and when you see this group of holy people trying to sacrifice this was a girl, or like the girl,
it's like
right?
a young girl. Yeah.
And that was really cool, but that was the first
That's
time.
because that's when Shandor appears
and he
calls them barbarians. Okay, you're right. Yep.
And
I just remember his ass.
Not that you saw it.
But that scene was hilarious. Like that just kind of set the tone for who this guy is. He's like,
oh yeah, I love it.
It's like if the Big Lebowski was a vampire hunter.
It's very right. It reminds me a lot of Sean Connery in like In the Name of the Rose.
Right.
Was like a pious person, but doesn't
very
take
down to
himself so
earth.
seriously.
Exactly.
Like he has faith, but like that's not all. Like my
or
ass is
Friar Tuck from Prince of Thieves.
Oh
without being so holy, but working for the church, he reminded me a little bit of James Woods from John Carpenter's Vampire.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, he's working with the clergy, but he's very much like, hey, fuck this. You know, vampires suck.
Yeah.
They got to be eradicated.
Right.
Yeah, right. He's got this like,
and he's right. That's what, at the end of the movie.
Yes.
The villain turns out to be the priest. It's like, or
in Vampires.
It's like the Cardinal.
The Cardinal, Maximilian Schell, and he's right the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah, he definitely has this. Shandor has this very like. I can't imagine God has a problem with me fucking warming my ass.
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly. I kind of wish he said it that way.
They came up with the perfect balance of replacement for Van Helsing, because Van Helsing is all about the head and knowledge, and he understands vampires and understands that there's supernatural stuff, but you have like, if he's the superego, you have this kind of more id-ish guy that knows the spiritual level of it, that there are monsters around us, and also knows that you can't just go around killing everyone that you think is
Right.
And
can't you?
Well, you could, but you know, might not have a long career as a vampire.
Although I will say,
I'm pretty sure the Lord would have a problem with
the one problem with him is when they're in the inn. He's like, these people believe in all these superstitions.
Oh yeah, he's laughing at them for having the garlic hanging at the bar.
Vampires, get rid of the garlic, get rid of the castle. And they're like, we're going to the castle. Don't go to the castle.
It was like he was posturing for the tourists.
Yeah.
And then they were like, oh, shit, hold on.
Yeah.
No, actually, I was kidding. Don't.
and a note of like when we were joking about if they had not gone to the castle, if you notice, they don't intend to go to the castle. They make the choice not to go to the castle.
That's true.
And they get into the carriage.
Yeah.
And much
That's
like
a
in the
good point.
novel Dracula, the carriage brings
Yes,
You're
exactly.
going no matter what.
Right.
Mm-hmm. You have no choice.
I mean, in a lot of these, and I've said it before, a lot of these don't go there places. Everybody tries to. The locals tell them not to go. So when they come back looking for help in any Hammer film, and the innkeeper, usually Michael Ripper or whatever,
That's
won't
right.
help them, they're surprised at
Again,
how much of an
Ripperless
asshole
movie.
he is. And it's like, well, I told you not to go.
Yeah.
You did the exact opposite.
The Borgel Pass?
Yeah.
The Borgel Pass?
Go to Borgo Pass.
No.
Don't go onto the moors. Stay away from the castle. Don't go into the house.
Yes.
Don't find Dr. Satan.
We've traced the call.
I actually got so in the mood.
Don't go that way. Don't ever go that way.
Exactly. Listen to the worm.
Actually, the one time she should have.
Yeah.
I got so in the mood of watching this one that I watched Kiss of the Vampire because I thought that
I
hadn't
love
seen it
Kiss of the
before.
Vampire.
And that actually has like the complete inversion of this, that the couple starts off and everybody there is like, oh no, you can go. Like,
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
Totally.
Yes.
They do the opposite.
Oh, the Count. He sets a very fine table.
Yeah.
My wife's cooking. It's shit. Go see the Count.
And it's the exact opposite. that
Yes.
That's true.
Oh, is it like
Because
this,
they're,
like,
like, in
better
cahoots.
you than me kind of situation?
Yeah, it's a little.
Right, like
it
it's
kills
a part-
you guys. We
Right.
live for
Yeah,
It's
another
like a
week
partnership.
at least.
It's
Yeah.
like the last voyage of the Demeter.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It's
yeah.
a
Where
little
That's cool.
coercion.
That's called. What's that one
too.
called?
There's
Kiss of the Vampire.
Kiss of the
Kiss of the Vampire. It's a very good one.
Is that's a Hammer one?
Yep.
It's a Hammer one.
Yep. It's,
We
so
watched
that
that one?
came out.
We
I think,
might have watched it.
Okay.
I don't think we've done an episode about it, but I think we've watched it.
I think that came out between Horror of Dracula and Horror of Dracula, Brides of Dracula. I think Kiss of the Vampire came after that.
Yeah, I don't think we did that
before
one.
this. So this was.
I think I'm thinking Lust.
An 8-year break between this and Horror of Dracula.
We did watch it.
We
did watch it because remember that was one that had like the extra scenes where the woman was actually making the cloaks for the people that were in the cult at the end.
all the stuff that they cut out.
Yes, and it was a totally different version for
Right.
TV because they had cut out a lot of the gory stuff.
Right.
So they added like all these scenes with like the family. Remember?
Oh,
Do you,
I read
you know what I'm talking about? That Dean?
Yeah.
And you're right, because she was making the cloaks.
She was the one that was actually
for the
making the
cult.
white cloaks for the cult of the vampires.
Right.
Yeah.
We're just gonna have to watch it again.
Oh, absolutely. I'm down.
Darn.
It's Hammer season.
Yeah, it's Hammer time.
A hated scene, a least favorite scene?
No, I have none.
I don't
That's
really have a
okay.
hated scene at all.
I will say in a film that I find fairly tight, some of the I'm forgetting his name, the Renfield replacement.
Ludwig?
Clove.
Yeah.
No, I thought Clove was one of the guys.
Clove is
the guy that drives the carriage.
Yeah,
and
Clove kind of takes
works in the house.
Kind of takes the job of the gypsies in Dracula, whereas
Ludwig? Ludwig
is
is in-
kind
yeah.
of
He's staying with all the monks.
Oh, he's the betrayer.
Oh,
yeah,
He
the one that screws
betrays
him over.
them.
Yeah.
He's
I likened
a
him to
prisoner
Renfield
in that,
also. Yeah. He's eating
and-
flies at one point too.
And
Yes.
there's a point that some of the stuff that he gets away with defies a little bit of logic even for this, that he's like, no, leave the girl that you're supposed to be guarding with me.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
Prisoner, like the
Yeah.
insane guy. I'll protect her.
Right.
And,
So the convenience of stupidity to move the plot along. Yeah,
Mhm.
I can see
Yeah.
that. Totally.
The only thing, honestly, that I don't like seeing Dracula run.
You don't like the
I
running
think
Dracula.
I don't like it. I don't like seeing him being chased. I don't really like seeing him chasing people. It's too human.
All right.
I like if he appears or he just kind of fucking floats through air.
Yeah.
Or he's just there. That's more menacing to me. Watching him, like, it has this, like, almost like Looney Tunes-esque quality to it.
Yeah.
Like they're going to run in one door and come out another door, and then
It starts to become a little farcical.
Yeah, a little bit.
It's like a Scooby-Doo montage.
Like it makes sense. I get it. Yeah. But even in like the opening, which I really like, you see him and Peter Cushing chasing each other. And this, it was some similar things, and I was just like, it's less than, what's the word I'm looking for? Like malevolent, or it's just not.
Yeah. You can't
not,
take Dracula as serious when you see him
right.
like that.
It's not like as menacing to me.
Plus, Christopher Lee is Christopher Lee is so tall and gangly. He was not a very he was a very clumsy guy. He was not
He's wired.
Yeah.
He's wired.
Yeah.
6'5" or 6'6".
He was like 6'5", 6'4", 6'5".
He puts up a fight though. It's
The
not a
very
polished
tall.
fight.
Some of that bothers me a little bit. How the fight is fairly even a lot of the times. Like I like it, but I like to see my hero get his ass kicked a little bit.
Okay.
By Dracula before he's able to.
So he can come back even stronger.
This dude's got to come out of that fight by the skin of his teeth.
All right.
Not like stand his own ground.
Gotta
Not
Rocky
Blade.
that shit.
Not
Gotcha.
like Blade.
Not
like
like
this dude is like
Teen Wolf.
Yeah.
You think he's down, and then when in the end comes on.
And this is when we talk about the rules, how much I love Fright Night, that you have to have faith rule. I love that shit. And I would love to see a situation with Van Helsing where the cross didn't work because he's more, I think, a man of science than Shandor is. So I would love to see that kind of play out in one of these movies.
Yeah, I like that whole faith thing too, because it's
just
one thing just to hold
you're
the
holding
Christ.
up.
Yeah, but you got to have some sort of faith in something. They don't get too preachy with their religion, but
you got to believe.
You have to believe, or it ain't going to do shit.
It's going to work. Yeah.
Derek, you?
Almost every scene with the two couples.
I want that son of a bitch dead.
Almost. That's not bad.
Well, because
the scenes that they're
a
not
couple
in.
of them have Shandor in it, and
Okay, all right. Yeah.
and I don't like Vampire Helen.
She's so saucy.
Well, no,
neither did he. Dracula hated her too.
That's true.
Shoved her to the ground.
So when in all these vampire movies, when a female gets turned, it can go two ways. Like they can be pretty badass and cool, or it can be just like side piece. Like, oh, I changed her, and she just completely has a different personality now, and she's either like a whore. Or
a whore.
Oh, you know we're recording this. It doesn't matter how low you speak.
A hee-haw.
They're gonna hear it.
Like
Derek.
she's either like super sexual or just kind of like
tantalizing. She's either tantalizing,
like or
prissy.
Yeah, well, not prissy, but like I don't know.
Oh, like sniveling.
Right. You know, I don't know. I wish that when especially when women are turned. I want to see some.
Well, she's a vampire.
I know, but like change it on a dime. Like I guess
she's no longer living.
I guess
that tracks a little bit for me when it comes to situations of in just about any vampire movie. As soon as somebody turns, all of a sudden, because vampires have this like
I want to see an internal
sense of like
cool.
See,
well,
I
don't know.
I validate your feelings, but I would say that's what works for me.
Yeah,
that is that kind of abrupt, that kind of abrupt change. That she is. I really like Helen. I actually think she's a great character, and kind of really well portrayed, because she's not only a prude. She's also the only one
that is smart.
Right.
Like,
that is guys, we shouldn't be doing
she's the voice of reason.
She is. She's
I
the
would
sensible killjoy.
So it's fun to see her turn and do a complete 180.
But that's the thing. So like once she's turned, she should be angry at the others. She should be like it should be all like I told you. And you didn't listen. But
but now she's dead and loving it.
See, but
right.
This is where I love vampire stories and kind of hate a lot of modern vampire takes, because I don't want any type of internal struggle. You are feral once you are bit. There isn't something left.
All there is a thirst.
Right.
You just want to feed.
It is something your inhibitions are gone to the point of just animalistic urge and the stuff we might find sexy in a movie, but horrifying in real life. Like that, and especially when it comes to your loved ones, that there's no semblance left of their actual personality.
Right. Like a vampire might use like empathy to like pull at your heartstrings, like, oh, we're sisters, help me, come on, and then it's like really the end game is I want to feed on you or bring you to Dracula so he can feed on you. There's no
right there.
Yeah, I feel similar.
I feel I'm spoiled by like Vampire the Masquerade.
Yeah, and it's a different
and holding on.
But you're
holding
working
on
inside of like a world like populated by vampires, so there's more opportunity for like death.
And it comes down I'm a big vampire fan. I like lots of different ones. And there's people who, I'm not going to knock the Twilight. Like, I know Tito's love of Twilight.
Oh, he loves
phenomenal
it.
film.
Yeah, he loves
Did you guys
it.
watch that last fight scene yet? We'll watch it after the show.
We'll watch it after.
Dude, I'm telling you, sick.
Can we watch it so he stops bringing it up?
Yes,
This is like the third
It's
episode.
fucking sick.
We can. I like the quickness of it because it's scarier to me that there's no time once you're bit. We talked about it. It happens in the Legend of the Seven Golden Vampires where the woman who's traveling with the lead, I can't remember the name, she's bit and she is like turned instantly. It's almost like a zombie kind of thing. And I absolutely love that.
Oh, his love interest. Yeah. The main character is the blonde woman. Yeah, she was a hottie.
Away.
Yeah,
and in
her.
Dracula AD, like,
Was she Julie Eggy? Was she? Remember, I brought up her name last week. EGE. I don't know how to pronounce her last name.
She could have been.
What was that movie called?
The Legend of the Seven Golden Vampires. I want to say that she might have been in that one too.
Could have been.
Because remember, I brought it up that she was one of the ones that was in the running for the Sister Hyde role before they gave it to Martine.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Oh, but didn't want to do the...
No, Carolyn Monroe didn't want to do the nudity, so they offered
Vanessa she plays Vanessa Biram, Julie EGE.
EGE, yeah. I don't know how to pronounce her last name.
I think it's
Eggy.
Eggy.
Egg? I don't know.
Eggy Wigs.
Yeah, she's nice.
Eggy.
I think I'll smash them.
Norwegian.
One thing I do like, I like when Helen is tapping at the window. I love when vampires are at the window trying to get people to open them up. That movie, Salem's Lot, like when they're tapping and you can see that
Buffy
they're
the Vampire
changed.
Slayer.
I love it.
I was
Buffy.
commenting saying that Stephen King must have watched this to get the idea.
Oh, probably.
It was in the commentary track. They were actually referencing the Mario Bava Black Sunday.
Oh.
Or Black Sabbath or Blath Sunday. One of the
Black
two.
Sunday.
Black
Sunday.
Excuse me. And that has Barbara Steele in it.
Yeah. And so does Black Sabbath too, I believe.
That's right.
But that they do that same thing first in that one. So
that's an awesome
with a little boy.
All right.
So some friend to some of the people on the show, Helen.
I think Helen is effective at being annoying, which makes her one of the more interesting characters. She's the most interesting of the four.
Yeah.
Like the blonde Diane.
Yeah,
she's very pretty, but she's just kind of there.
It's Charles and Diana.
Yeah. Oh, is that? Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah. He's when he fights Dracula, I'm like, oh, I don't like this guy.
No, that's just,
and the brother-in-law is just kind of like there, right? He's just kind of there.
Yeah.
Helen is probably the most fleshed out and interesting of the bunch.
I like the relationship. I mean, I do think Charles is very much. I can't get past the Cary Grant sound that he's got. And to me, it is like. Oh, I know he's probably a great actor in his own. They're all passed away now, but the relationship between him and the sister and the brother, I like that kind of two opposite couples traveling together, and the relationship between the brothers, I think plays kind of strong. But yeah, they're the bland leads.
Yeah. And Brian, anything you would change? Anyone you would change?
No, I don't think I'd change anything. Yeah. I do miss a little bit of Peter Cushing's Van Helsing in this movie, but Father Shandor is such an interesting character. You don't forget him completely, but Shandor is a very decent replacement for him. So no, I don't think I would replace anybody. I think everybody works perfectly for the roles that they have.
Did you know in the Hammer Horror magazine, they had backup cartoons of
didn't know that
of Captain Kronos and also the continuing adventures.
Well,
of
I knew they had a
Shandor.
comic, like a short run comic book for Captain
That was
Kronos.
much later, which was great. If you get a chance to read those. But this
Do you
was
have
back
them?
of the Captain Kronos
Yeah.
ones. Yeah.
Oh, you lucky duck.
Oh yeah, no, they're great. But this was back in the like 70s, 80s.
Wow.
So that's something that, again, I'm new to the game, but like these movies, this film studio, this like universe created by them, I would have loved to see in a movie with like Captain Kronos,
like a
Shandor,
yeah,
and fucking Peter Cushing
Oh,
doing
yeah.
whatever.
Like a team of vampire
That would
hunters.
have been fantastic.
It really
Like,
would have.
I would love something like that. That's why it bums me out when I'm like, oh, this is really good. I assume they just made a bunch of all these things, and everybody was just in everybody else's movie.
Yeah, but it wasn't.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
not
You
quite.
do see
they didn't
some-
think like that back then.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do see some hints of Shandor in the later movies that you kind of get an idea that they thought of writing him in because they do have other religious figures.
They do, yeah.
that kind of are
They-
similar.
I mean, they probably thought, well, Universal tried it and they just got incredibly hokey, crossing Frankenstein with Dracula, and maybe they just didn't want to go that same route because it might have been, like you said, they weren't thinking like that at the time, and shared universes weren't really a thing, so they probably thought it would just be too goofy.
But teaming up the hunters,
yeah.
or even just continuing some of the hunters that they
Their
did.
stories,
I would have loved to see more Shandor.
Yeah, me too.
I agree. Dean, is there something about this movie you would change? Someone you would change?
I would just get a little bit more time with a little more development with the two leads.
Yeah.
Because I do like their relationship with each other, but they are also pretty standard, and it's
They have a fun banter when she's talking about like the guy she dated before him.
Yeah.
He's like, there was no one before me.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, this is kind of fun.
They do
I
have
like it.
there is like I would like a little more of that, like that. Should we go do this? Should we do that?
Yeah.
And a little more of that fun banter between them, because then you do. When he's going to lose her, you feel the stakes a little.
It matters.
The stakes.
Yeah. It matters. It would matter more. Yeah. Just the running for me. It's the only thing I would change.
Just the running.
Seriously, like I want him to just appear out of thin air. Just how I see Dracula, I want it or don't. See him.
Like the couples are running for their lives, and they round a corner, and Dracula's
just
in front of them.
fucking there, man.
Suddenly they back
Yeah.
up, and they run the other way.
Yeah.
Round another corner, and Dracula's in front of them.
He's there. Yeah. I would love
It does
to
have a
see
window
Yeah.
pop at one point.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Yeah. Right.
I love that window
Right.
pop. He's like halfway in, and he's like,
Yeah, some shit like that, yeah.
I can't get all the way in. Never
Can I
mind.
borrow a cup of sugar?
Yeah.
It's kind of like you guys-
Stupid cat door.
It's the Muppet Show. Very
It's the
special
Muppet
guest. Dracula.
It's like him popping through the window while Batman and Robin are climbing up
Yeah,
the wall.
climbing up. Yeah, that would be hilarious.
Holy bloodsucker, Batman! It's Dracula. I was looking for a different kind of Batman. I don't know. Some stupid way. My thing is, I would put Michael Ripper in this movie somewhere. There's no Michael Ripper. He
I
needs
know.
to be in this movie. He needs to be in every Dracula movie.
He needs to be in every Hammer movie.
He does. So if he was good enough for the freaking Deadly Bees, which I think was Amicus, I'm not sure. It wasn't Hammer, but
No, it wasn't Hammer.
It was a Hammer-esque film. He could fucking come back for this movie.
Mm-hmm.
We needed some Michael Ripper somewhere.
I'd just do a lot of rewriting. I would just flesh out some characters a little more.
Erase.
Maybe, I don't know.
Dear Jimmy Sangster.
Son of a bitch!
I did not appreciate your movie's tone.
Your Helen sucked.
Jimmy Sangster actually wrote it under a different name. He's not.
Was this
credited.
Henry Younger? Was it John Elder? Was this one of those?
Oh man, I wish I had the
forget
last.
what
Yeah,
the
because he
Elder
used he and another one used the John Elder Henry Younger monikers a couple of times.
I forget, and I forget why.
I do too.
Embarrassed.
I don't think so.
No, it
No.
was a.
I don't know if it was a joke or.
Oh no, I do know. It was he was doing some other stuff and didn't like the way he was like pigeonholed with the Frankenstein that they wrote like Jimmy Frankenstein Sangster.
Okay.
And so he didn't want to always
Be known for that.
Be known for that because he was doing other stuff too, and he didn't like the name being put with his name. So
Okay.
that's why.
Okay. That makes sense.
Is there anything that doesn't work for anybody today?
Brian?
Nah.
Nope. The squeaky stool doesn't work.
Squeaky stool.
My whole thing is like Dracula not being less formidable.
Yeah.
Like he seems like I feel like I could be Dracula in these movies. Right? That's the impression I get. Like, oh, we can wrestle around. I can wrestle Dracula. I could fight a cougar. That's how I feel like about Dracula in this movie.
I'm just telling you, it's easy to do.
That's how I feel. I just don't feel that like
This
Like,
Dracula
this
is
dude
the cougar
unstoppable.
of Dracula movies.
He just doesn't feel unstoppable, especially when he's like running away. Like I just don't fucking. That was a 60 though. What are you gonna do?
I'm not gonna do anything.
Yeah,
I couldn't do anything. I wasn't around. I wasn't around to help you, man.
By today's standards, Diana might seem kind of a meek heroine.
Yeah.
But
sure, yeah.
she actually is the one in the end who makes the attempt to save.
Yeah, she
Father
grabs the
Shit.
gun and
She
shoots
grabs
at the
the
ice.
gun and
Yeah,
shoots.
absolutely.
She may not do the killing shot, but she's the one who actually is proactive in saying like
she's the catalyst for Shandor saying shoot the ice.
Yeah, even though she doesn't know that a bullet isn't going to stop Dracula.
Right, but she misses.
still-
That's
Right,
she hits the ice, and that's when Shandor's
At
like,
least she tries.
"There's running water under the ice.
Points
Shoot
for
the
try.
ice."
Oh, that's so good.
Did you know that the stuntman almost got drowned?
Yeah.
in that part?
Really?
Yeah,
No, I didn't.
Yeah, I did know that.
Right.
What doesn't?
Fun
work?
fact.
I don't think any. I think can't think of anything that doesn't work for me because I like the later films. Probably just no speaking from Dracula.
Yeah.
I have a hard time with it. I don't know necessarily. Wouldn't say it doesn't work now because a lot of people like that. And just for me personally, I prefer a line.
Oh, I wonder if an audience today would be as.
Well, you got
interested in
the
something
Last
like
Voyage of Demeter. Dracula doesn't say anything.
He hardly
does
says
very
anything.
true.
Yeah, he says a few lines.
Something.
Maybe it's because he's less.
Yeah.
You will, right?
Because Christopher Lee, is so human in form that, like, when the monster doesn't speak, it doesn't bother me.
Yeah.
But when the man doesn't speak, it's like,
something.
If he didn't speak when he was like bloodshot-eyed fangs, then you'd be like, okay. But when he's just kind of
that's the
roaming
thing.
around,
He's
it would.
feral, but he looks like a gentleman, so you expect something.
Yeah,
more.
yeah,
Like,
absolutely,
and
yes.
I side with that.
Yeah. What does he say to fucking
sorry.
Clove? They're like, people are coming, get the food out, bro.
Charades.
Like, how does he get people to? Oh, he just like charms them.
Well, I believe he was still a pile of dust when the
Right.
Oh, very true, very true.
Right.
You got me there. That's true. This might help.
Or some
me.
of
He
that.
just does it.
Benny the
night.
Cab.
Every night he sets a table and then throws it away at the end of the night.
Benny the Cab
Oh,
called
that's
ahead.
the movie I want to see.
And it was for people.
And it was for yeah.
A day in the life of Clove.
Yeah, right. The last 3 times the number was off, so he couldn't feed him to Dracula. He was like,
Yeah.
I don't have place
The night
settings for
before,
this.
it's just Clove moving from setting to setting. You're a good boy, Clove. Why, thank you, Clove.
There's your next season of What We Do in the Shadows.
I know.
Right there. That's a
Oh,
gimmick.
sorry to interrupt again. So,
Do it.
Exciting. Age of Clove, 35.
Get out of
He's
here.
35.
He
Father-
looked like he was in his 50s.
Are you kidding me?
Father Shandor.
Yeah.
Want to guess?
Yeah, 42.
43.
Ah, see?
God, I'm older than
What am I saying?
Shandor.
People in the 70s
Yeah.
look 20 years older than they actually were.
Yeah,
Clove's
older
hair
than
is like
Shandor.
It was the
it's not
60s.
really gray though.
Yeah.
I feel like you can tell it's, but still, he looks like shit.
He did.
He looks old, man.
Yeah.
There's hard times back then. Mm-hmm. Those kids grew up in hard times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of secondhand.
There was a lot of jobs and shit people had
Yeah,
to do.
working
Yeah,
in
that's
mines
jobs
and
shit.
factories
Working in
and
the mines and
a lot of
shoe
factories.
factories.
Yep.
Yeah. Smoke
Shit with
factories.
smoke.
Smoke factory. That's a tough job.
Now we have Hollywood writers on strike. Like they got a
Oh,
problem.
that's been settled.
Oh, is it
They
settled?
settled
Yeah,
it today.
they settled
Oh,
Thank freaking God.
who fucking cares?
Yeah.
Jesus.
I care. I don't want to watch reality
Yeah, I want my
TV.
movies.
Yeah.
What about
I
you?
think the fact that he's been resurrected so many times and in so many strange ways and come back, I don't think that today's audiences would kind of go along with a franchise where, I mean, I guess we do still. I guess.
No,
Yeah.
we put them in
Let-
space.
You know,
right.
Jason's,
Yeah.
Freddy's.
I mean, was it fucking Kincaid's dog peed on fucking Freddy's bones and he came back to life?
Jason,
Yeah.
Jason the dog. peed.
Jason, yeah.
Yeah, but it was fire.
Still
piss.
That
happens.
was fire piss.
That's awesome.
Fire piss.
Anybody that does not like the resurrection of a villain being brought back by fire dog piss, you're not a horror fan. I'm sorry. You're a fucking hot
That's the
topic.
That's the line.
lifeblood.
Yeah,
That's the line
it.
right there.
If you don't have appreciation for
I don't like that.
for resurrection via dog urination, you don't belong here.
Fraud.
Yeah,
Yeah, you're a fraud.
you're a fraud.
Even I would like that.
Yeah, you would. You should.
Even I would like
Yeah.
that. Yeah. This one might be a little tough. What do you what are you doing in this movie? I had nothing.
I didn't know
Is
anything.
there
Yeah.
anybody in this movie that you're like, oh, this person's in
The
this?
animal ass. That's in every
Yeah.
freaking animal in Hammer film. The animal.
right.
Oh, that's right.
right, it was
We
in
did
there.
find that.
Cool. The rabbit head and then the butt
Yep.
Yeah.
coming out of the wall.
Yeah.
I thought that was a cool
Is it a
thing.
jackalope?
Well, they didn't have
It doesn't have
it was
horns.
just a jackrabbit.
It doesn't have horns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna have like
It was like a
antlers.
stuffed jackrabbit head mounted
thought it
on a
was like
plaque, and then they had its
a
ass mounted on another.
Fucking weasel.
And we saw the face, and I'm like, all right, there's the face. Where's the butt? Where's the butt?
Yeah, because
And
what
then,
was the
like,
movie that we originally saw it in last year? Was it the Plague of the Zombies?
No, that was
I
a
think.
couple of years ago. We noticed these animal asses.
I thought it was just last year.
I think
we
because
see
whenever
one?
we watched, it was two movies in a row. Because it was the ones that they filmed.
So this
Plague
is-
and
so-
Gorgon and
the Gorgon.
yeah, and
The reptile had
So
one
the
too.
same-
oh, the reptile maybe that's what it was.
So
Reptile and
this is
Plague of the
filmed
Zombies.
back to back with. Help me with this, Brian, because I always get it mixed up. So this is filmed. So there's 4 movies being filmed generally at once to cut costs. So Rasputin the Mad Monk.
Yeah.
That's the one that it was filmed. Yeah, back to back with.
So so this and Rasputin the Mad Monk, and Plague of the Zombies, and
or the reptile. I think it was Plague of the Zombies.
Because
and
I
the
remember it was
Reptile
the same
filmed
exact house,
back to back.
and that's why the
They reused sets. For
Yeah.
those too.
yeah.
so then, but then they put the opposites on the double feature, so you wouldn't see both in the same
Right,
in
exactly.
the same thing.
Right.
So,
Oh, okay.
so that might be why you.
So we were lucky enough to see
We're always on the lookout
double
for the
that.
For the double,
Yeah.
for the butt and the head.
Double-
Yeah.
I was so excited. That it
Yeah,
didn't
and the
disappoint.
spiral columns.
Right.
I always look
Oh,
for the
the spiral
spiral columns in
columns.
a Hammer movie. They
I-
pop up all the time.
And this castle is reused.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's the same set. They just redress it over and over and over.
And you were talking about liking that scene earlier of when they're marching by the lake, like that lake and tree line is.
That's
used
right,
quite
yeah.
a bit.
Yeah.
Yep.
Favorite quotes. Brian, you got a favorite quote?
The one that we mentioned before, Father Shandor in his, my order doesn't afford me many earthly pleasures, but a warm posterior is one of them.
That's mine too. I'm stealing that one.
It was my big one. I got the full one though. It's fortunately my calling still allows me the luxury of a warm posterior.
Oh, okay.
One of the few pleasures left in life. Pleasure in this life is important. And the guy says alternatives, hellfire and brimstone, or no. I'm sure that warming one's backside in front of an open fire and a mulled claret aren't part of the grand design.
That's the whole scene right
Yeah.
there. Yeah.
I think, he's got all the best lines. So that one is killer. I enjoy shocking people's susceptibilities. I think it's just a really nice. Because then it like kind of brings it home for me that he's like a cool monk.
Yeah.
He's like the monk you want to hang out with.
Yeah, exactly.
He's the one to party
Like, we'll
with.
hang out.
He's
you
the
know.
monk with a record player up in his
Yeah.
bedroom.
I feel like
He's
he'd
just
be
my religious drinking
he's
buddy.
like- I feel like we would hang out on like Saturday night, and he'd be like, I'm going to church. You want to come tomorrow? I'd be like, no. He'd be like, all right, I'll try again next Saturday.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And like not really
Yeah,
care.
you want to burn in
Yeah.
hell,
Like,
man?
you want to
that's
come? You want
okay.
to come? No? All right, cool, man. I'll see you next Saturday.
Dean, how
This will
about
make a
you?
cool
What's
fuck.
yours?
I actually don't have one. I would go with that one because I forgot that this was one of yours.
That was a good one.
I'm
I got
sure
one.
there's some other good ones in there too.
I did think of another one.
Okay.
Okay. That one from Christopher Lee.
I feel like
Wow.
there's some cool.
You should be in the Reddit.
Do you like that?
I feel like Clove
pretty
had
good.
some fun stuff when they first arrived.
He
and
did.
I think it was more
Yeah.
exchanges than actual lines. Like, because he does say like, they're like, oh, your master is ready for like your
Yes.
master must be great at hosting. Oh, he's dead.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thanks for bringing it up.
Thanks
Thanks for bringing up really
Downer.
painful fucking memories.
Awkward.
My name's Clove.
Oh yeah.
Clove Downer.
I also really like Clove's entrance.
Yeah.
You kind of get
Yeah.
they're kind of
Oh,
like
she
fooling you
screams.
into thinking
Yeah.
that it's Dracula. And then
Yeah.
he
Because he's
steps
in the shadows in the hall. Yeah.
Wouldn't that
And
be
he just
great?
stays
You
there,
walk somewhere
like-
and a woman like legitimately screams in horror at your appearance.
That doesn't happen to you? It happens to me all the time.
All
Well,
the time.
and then he just stays there. Like
Yeah.
he doesn't really react to her scream.
Well, he
Yeah.
doesn't care. He knows. He's like, I know what I am.
I-
I'm just as
He's
goddamn.
just like a long
He's waiting
pause.
for her to finish.
There's a long
Are you
pause, and
done?
then one of the guys is
Are
like,
you done?
Oh, it's just a man. It's like
just a man.
Did they kill Clove?
I don't know if they killed Clove. I don't think they did.
He just kind of walked away.
Clove shows up in one of the next movies, but it's played by Patrick Troughton, who was the
Very
second
different
Doctor.
character.
Yeah.
No, because don't they steal? They steal his carriage. They steal Clove's carriage.
Yes.
He
From
doesn't
the- yeah,
die.
from the
They
stable.
But he
take it
doesn't
and drive
die.
it back. Yeah.
Yeah, because he does show up, but it's a different actor playing him later.
So I got the Charles Kent, what's your name? Clove, sir. Well, Clove, isn't your master joining us for dinner? No, sir, I'm afraid not. Is he indisposed? He's dead. That is as matter-of-factly.
Yeah.
He's dead.
Well, he's not wrong.
That is a great exchange.
MVP.
MVP.
It can be a person. It can be a thing.
Father Shandor. Yeah, Father Shandor, I think, steals this movie. Love him. I still stick by we should have got more of him in other subsequent movies. Great character.
I like almost all of the characters, but I have to say Father Shandor is like above and beyond.
Yeah, I'm going. I would have liked to have seen him tangle with Sister Hyde.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Nice.
Yeah, bring that shit
Father
back.
Shandor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Father Shandor.
All right.
Well done. And it's making the rotation.
Yeah.
Yep.
These
Then
guys-
it
Already does, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm actually I'm a little more with Derek in this. I might watch it if somebody else wants to watch
Right.
it, but
Right.
it's not one that I would
Throw on yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not on Vudu, so I wouldn't buy it anyway.
It's not. It's not streaming
It's not
anywhere.
streaming on anything.
It's
Yeah.
the only one
Yeah.
that you can't purchase digitally.
You let me borrow it, and I was like,
Yeah.
oh, I was in my bedroom, and I don't have a Blu-ray
This
player
was-
in there. I was like,
Oh,
I'll just
no.
watch it on streaming, and I was like,
You
that was
can't.
every other fucking.
Yeah, that's why I
Dracula
gave you the
movie on
disc.
streaming.
Because you fell asleep when we were watching it last week, and that's why I gave you the disc because it's not
like, oh,
streaming
watch it on
anymore.
my
So
PlayStation.
good. It's so good, Tito.
I was gonna watch it on my in my living room, and then I was like, I feel like watching it in bed, and I was like, I can't watch it in bed.
This was one that it used to be really hard to get. Like
Still is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Streaming services
Yeah.
don't like Helen either. That's why.
Once
Yeah.
again, a big shout out to Shout Factory,
That's
Screen
where
Factory.
yeah,
but
Screen
Oh,
Factory. That's where I got
man.
my
The
disc
best
from.
stuff.
DVD of this or Blu-ray of this. Is
Yeah,
amazing.
yeah. The extras, the quality of the print.
Three commentary tracks.
Yeah.
Documentary.
Does this one got two different versions of the film too? This
Two
one had the
different versions.
the
Yeah,
American and the
American
UK
and
version,
UK version.
What are
which
the
I don't know what
differences?
the differences are. Do you, Dean? I probably
know-
did at one point, but
There's
I forgot.
a rap video in the American version.
Yeah. More asses.
I think there's a little more cut out of the
American version?
of the European version.
Really?
I believe. I
Oh,
think
so
there's,
we
like,
watched the wrong version
some
then, gents.
slight-
We watched the UK version the other night.
'cause I'm trying to think,
Son
like
of a
the
bitch.
staking is shorter.
Oh.
And the body evolving.
Yeah.
I think might be a little shorter. I
Huh.
don't know, but I'm kind of
I'll have to
trying
read
to
up on it.
judge
I don't know
by
what. Yeah.
like the little bits I saw because
That's
I watched
interesting.
both of them
Mm-hmm.
over the weekend and couldn't tell you
Yeah,
right off
yeah.
like just in watching them.
What could you really change? I mean, it's only an hour and a half. What
Seriously.
Yeah, no,
cutting
it is just
shortening.
like little bits of blood here and there. And
Yeah. Okay.
It's an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was an hour and a half.
it's
It felt
exactly an hour.
longer.
And a half.
You know what,
Felt
Derek?
longer, I'm sorry.
I fell asleep watching it the first time. When I watched it the second time, I actually thought I missed more than I did. I hadn't missed that much.
Oh,
I
okay.
was like, oh, I only missed like a few minutes. I felt like I was asleep for at least an hour.
Yeah.
You missed the staking of
Yeah,
Helen.
because at the end I was
Yeah.
like, oh,
Yeah.
where's Helen?
Yeah.
Yeah. I missed her somehow.
She's dead,
Somehow I
Tito.
missed her.
Dead.
Yeah, I missed that part.
I'm wondering for those of us who had could not remember our first time watching this as whether like that makes a difference because I know the setup of the movie. I know the flow of the movie.
Yeah.
So there is kind of like I'm riding. It's like comfort food.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm hanging out in the taverns and
Right.
the castle.
Yeah.
And I know there's going to be a build, and I know what's coming. But coming into it now, I don't know whether I would be like, oh man, this is 45 minutes of couples talking
Yeah.
on vacation.
No, it would make sense unless
will-
you were like
yeah.
riding the wave already.
I will say
You know?
that when I was watching it, I thought maybe I'll just get started at the point where I think I left off. And then I thought, no, I don't want to do that because then I feel like I'm going to miss something. So I started over from the beginning. And it honestly, it flew. And I was like, oh, I didn't miss that much. And it is. You're watching it a second time. It's coming faster. Everything always comes faster when
Yeah.
you've seen something
Yeah.
so many times.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yep.
oh, okay, we're here. Oh, we're already here.
Yeah,
I actually,
'cause you know what's
I actually
coming
did
next,
like
too.
this part. I
Yeah.
actually did like this part. And there's little gaps in between where I'm like, it's a little slow, but they're like
I know it's
enough
coming.
really
yeah.
fun parts that are that are coming.
Yeah.
And then the scene that I didn't see with Helen where I was like, oh, this is kind of sick, where they're like
Yeah.
picking her up and holding her down.
Yeah,
at the
yeah.
table.
She's fighting them the whole way.
Yeah,
'cause
right.
She doesn't want to
So
get staked.
The more of that I saw, and then I was just like, okay. And then it was over, and I was like, oh, okay. I didn't miss that much in it. It actually didn't feel as slow to me the second time I saw it.
And I can totally relate, because there are later Dracula movies that some of the characters are just deplorable.
Yeah.
This movie also marks the kind of end of an older crowd in the Hammer Dracula movies, or Hammer movies in general, that they started to gear much towards
Younger,
a younger
yeah.
audience,
Yeah.
and all the characters became younger
Yeah,
too. So this
they
is
did.
kind of the oldest of
And you
the
can you can see that with the
Oh,
actors
interesting.
that are around nowadays versus the ones that are past. Like, because everybody from this movie, except for there's one person that was involved in the movie that's still alive.
Originally, it was Barbara Shelley and I think Clove were like the only ones that were still alive. But she died last year.
Right.
Yeah, she did.
And so,
But then you get
don't
people,
know
like
about
plenty of
him,
people that are in other ones that we've seen that are still,
Yeah.
Oh
still
yeah,
alive.
Carolyn Monroe is still kicking.
Oh, yeah.
Judy
Yeah.
Matheson.
Judy Matheson.
Yep.
Yeah.
Stephanie Beacham. Glad to meet him.
Stephanie
She's still alive,
Beacham.
right? Stephanie Beacham.
Sister Kate.
Yeah.
My girl.
Yeah.
Love Stephanie Beacham.
Friend of the show.
Friend of the show.
I hope so.
Friend of
Yeah.
my dreams. This I feel like we've covered a little bit, but how does it stack up? Other Dracula films, other Hammer films?
Oh, for Dracula
One of your
films, it's up there.
favorites? Yeah.
I love this one.
Yeah.
It's not my favorite, but it's up there. The one that comes after this one is my absolute favorite of the sequels, and this one will probably be right behind it.
Yeah, this is one of my favorites. I would say top, if not like second or third.
All right, nice. Yeah, I like the AD. Is it AD 72?
Yeah. Just call it Dracula 72.
Dracula
I don't know why they put the
72.
AD in there.
Dracula
because it's not
72 is such a weird and
72
kooky
BC,
movie.
that's for sure. I don't know why they had to throw in.
When I see this movie, I think this is what I'm expecting to see from a Hammer film. If you were like, it's 60s and 70s horror.
Mm-hmm.
When I see 72 or even Dr. Jekyll and Sister Hyde, I'm like, oh, this is kind of fun.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is an interesting take. They're doing some fun stuff. There's a rock band. There's clearly a lot of drugs involved in the process.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very sharp turn for Hammer from this period to the late 60s, early 70s.
Yeah, that's what
It
Brian
is
was saying.
Yeah.
The exploitation.
Yeah.
Of
Well,
it
you
takes
referred to like
over.
a phase 2 of Hammer. Where
Almost,
they're,
yeah.
like,
Once they
moving
hit
over into, like-
1970, everything was totally different. They really went balls to the wall with the exploitation stuff and trying to keep up with everything else that was coming
going
out
on.
in cinema at that point.
So at my wedding shower, we did movie themes, and so I had a big projector projecting scenes up on the wall, and we ran a whole thing of Hammer trailers.
Oh,
Nice.
I did not realize that it also included several of the 1970s Hammer movies.
Oh, that must have been
And
fun.
then there was like projected big on the wall at the wedding shower with all of my relatives and friends and such was bare-breasted staking. And Jen comes over to me and goes, Dean, there's a naked lady being stabbed on the wall. I think you should probably shut this
Yeah, but what about the movie?
It's about time. Yeah, right. Couldn't have come at a better time.
This is what marriage is going to be like, baby.
It's a symbol of our love. She has staked me through the heart.
Mm-hmm.
What about you, Killer?
What the hell was the category?
How's it stack up?
It stacks up. Upper middle for me. There are many Dracula. I love this movie, but there are many Dracula films I like more. There's at least 4 or 5 of them I like better, so it would start to get down toward the middle. But I'll still watch it with all the others because I have to. It's part of the
have
run.
to.
It's part of the run, baby.
Brian makes me.
Brian makes me watch it.
Is it like your Fats and Tokyo Drift? Because that's me in Tokyo Drift. Like, I got to watch it because it's part of the
No,
story.
because I don't. Well, you hate Tokyo Drift, though, right?
Actually,
That's what he's saying.
I've seen it so many times that I love it now. But yeah,
now.
for a long
But you're-
time, I
but
watched it
that's
because
the
I got to. It's they're fast and they're furious.
I don't know.
in this too.
I don't hate that. I
Fast
love this
X is the
movie.
new-
It's
it's
just
the
that-
new Tokyo Drift.
No, it's not a Tokyo Drift. I don't know what I would equate it to. It's just it's again part of the run. So it's just being
you
the
watch it.
completist. I watch it
Yeah, same.
and
I'll
I
do
enjoy it. So, but it is not. Again, it's not Dracula Has Risen or Scars for me. Those are just better ones. I like.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm with Tito. I would watch it with like you guys if you want to, if that's what you wanted to watch.
That's what we're watching
But-
next.
We're gonna watch it again.
Until you like
Oh wait,
it.
we can't. Tito
But
forgot the DVD.
I think
you putz.
Accidentally on purpose.
But it's low for me for Hammer films.
Yeah.
It's low for me for Dracula movies in general. Sorry.
Apology accepted.
It's not for you.
No, I'm sad.
It makes it worse when you apologize.
Yeah, don't apologize.
Yeah, it just is what
That's
it is.
my job.
Yeah, don't apologize.
Well, usually I have Tito on my. Me and Tito usually
I'm
in sync
like
with these things, and
this is one of these episodes where like
the only one
watching Brian and Dean like just drool over this movie was so much fun that it made me like the movie more. Like they were having so much fun. I was like, we finally found somebody that could talk like with Brian.
You complete me.
Just shut up. You had me at hello.
It was like,
Dean is my Hammer soulmate.
yeah, I was like, oh, these guys are fucking having the time of their life. I wish I liked this movie more. I wish I saw more of these movies because I want to be in the club too.
I totally, and I'm just feeling stupid right now because I was trying to think of what movie went with this.
Yeah.
I actually realized I have the movie poster of
Oh no.
Dracula, Prince of Darkness, and Plague of the Zombies.
Oh, it is Plague of the
up
Zombies.
in my living room.
No.
And I totally didn't put it together. That this is what,
It happens to the best of us, Dean. It happens to the best of us. Sequel? You got a sequel for this?
No, because there are plenty of sequels that come out after it. So
Same.
yeah,
Yeah.
I would actually like to see a Father Shandor
Yeah.
movie if I had to
Father
call
Shandor
for a
movie.
sequel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
got one, Tito.
I went really silly for these next
too.
two things. I went so he gets frozen in a block of ice. At the end, he gets thawed out in the 80s, and he discovers hip hop music and becomes a breakdancer.
All right. I'd watch that. Yeah.
I would.
and it takes place in Encino.
Yeah. Or maybe I don't know. I was thinking like the Bronx in the 80s. Maybe he lives in like an abandoned fucking
Meat locker.
apartment tenement, a tenement complex, and he just fucking practices. He's just b-boying up there. Yeah. Feeding when
Makes
he
friends
needs
with
to.
Grandmaster Flash.
Yeah, right. He meets Cool Herc. And, right. All
The
that
pioneers of hip hop.
shit. Yeah, exactly. Because I feel like if horror made it that far, it probably would have gone there.
It become
Yeah.
the Drac rap.
Yeah,
pack.
right. Because I feel like if the Shaw Brothers will make a movie with Hammer, then I feel like at some point in the 80s,
Yeah,
like,
Barry Gordy.
dude, you took it right out.
Isn't
Took it
there
right
a
out of my
Snoop
mouth.
Dogg vampire movie?
Well, he was Bones,
But
he's not a vampire. He's like back from the dead. Kind
No,
of.
what the hell was the one that just
Well,
came out?
The one that
Well,
was
there
on
was
Netflix.
that
Yeah,
one,
the one with
yeah.
Jamie
Oh,
Foxx,
the one with
right?
Jamie Foxx.
Yeah,
Day Shift.
Day Shift.
Yes,
Yeah, he was the
that
vampire
that
hunter in
movie.
that one.
I think
Yeah.
I'm thinking of Bones.
Yes.
Though, is the one.
And he did, yeah.
He's like a
Bones was in
pimp that
one.
gets murdered and then comes back for revenge.
I never saw that one.
I thought
Yeah.
that was a vampire one too, but
It could be. Yeah, he gets
But Vampire in
Pam Grier's
Brooklyn.
in
It's
that.
an undead pimp.
Vampire in Brooklyn.
Vampire in Brooklyn's the closest we've gotten.
Yeah.
It's Eddie
To Barry
Murphy.
Gordy.
Yeah.
How about a Dracula Blackula crossover? I want to see.
Oh, there you
that.
go.
Let's do
Are
it.
we getting into the 70s, a buddy cop movie with Dracula?
Surprise, motherfucker.
Oh, hell,
Have some fries, motherfucker.
Christopher
Red eyes,
Lee and William Marshall. Come on, the king of cartoons and fucking Count Dooku
The
in a
king
movie
of
together.
cartoons.
How fucking great!
Love
would that
it.
Be? Oh yeah,
There you go. There's your sequel.
that is my sequel right there.
Okay.
I'm going with that one.
Mine is Cult of Dracula, where Shandor and Van Helsing team up, and it's a supernatural buddy cop movie.
There you go.
See that?
And they're up against
Derek's ahead of all of
They're
us.
against a cult of Drac worshippers devoted to once again resurrecting him.
Is Eddie Murphy
Again.
in this?
Well, that's what happens every.
It could have been. Yeah. We
I want to see Eddie Murphy.
Yeah.
As someone. He doesn't have to be Shandor or Ben
He's
Helsing.
he's a whole
Jackie
family.
Chan
He's
is
a-
Van Helsing.
Can we get Judge Reinhold in this movie? As someone? Can we get John Ashford and Judge Reinhold to be Shandor and Van Helsing?
So you want to make Beverly Hills Cop 4 just with vampires? Okay.
And Eddie's Dracula. Axel becomes Dracula.
Oh, so he's the vampire in Brooklyn.
Dude, come on.
Who put the
is
banana
Bronson-
in my
Who put
coffee?
this? Yeah, right. Who put the steak in my tailpipe?
Is Belky
Oh, yeah, Serge.
Yeah.
Serge is fucking Renfield.
It's fucking Redfield. All these flies are amazing,
All
but
these
they
flies.
stain your
No, my
teeth.
master is dead. I can't do a Belky.
That was close.
End credit scene?
No, I think it ended the way it should have ended.
Very Hammer.
Abrupt.
Abrupt, yeah.
Hammer shouldn't have end credit scenes anyway. I mean, I know we put one with the last one, but there's so many sequels.
Unless you just show like Father Shandor riding off to fight another vampire.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Oh, yeah. I
That's
want
the
Freddy
credits
versus
roll.
Jason with mine.
Because
Because that movie's so good. Zoom in on Dracula frozen in ice, and then he just winks at the camera, even though he's frozen in ice.
Yeah.
He's like, "I'll see you guys again."
Dracula will be back in Octopussy.
Yeah.
I like that better than Freddy versus Jason. I'll take that.
Donnie Yen's Dracula.
He, like, wink.
Or maybe ice castles could take place on top of them.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, like that, dude. That'd be cool.
Lynn Holly Johnson.
I had Shandor giving Diane and Charles shit about not following his advice. Like, I told you. I told you.
Oh, like Grandpa in fucking Lost Boys.
That's right. If you'd listened to me, we wouldn't be in this mess.
One thing I never could get past with these Hammer movies, all the damn vampires.
Charles and Diana have a big storybook wedding.
Followed by a storybook divorce.
And then everything goes great for them.
Nice.
Nah, man, Shandor goes to fucking Helen's corpse, opens the coffin, looks around, and just smacks her in the face one more time. Shuts the coffin and runs.
Make sure she's really dead.
Yeah. Just like a final fight. She's just like, "Fuck you, ha!" and then runs. That's his runoff laugh. Ha ha! Ha ha! Ha!
Yeah, the end credits is just him roasting his tush at the
At the next inn.
Letting out a fart and everything explodes.
Dude, if they had burnt Dracula at the end of the movie, and then that would have been awesome.
That's right, yeah.
Oh, here we go. Check out my I've
I do like how the next one jumps right into the Frozen Dracula too.
Yeah.
Yes, it does.
I do as well.
So does that everyone essentially anytime Christopher Lee comes back or any Dracula comes back following, it's always kind of picking up
a little bit,
right?
Because
Because
at the end of
right?
at the end of the next one, Dracula has risen from the grave. He gets impaled on the Golden Cross.
Right.
Spoilers. And the next movie picks up immediately after that,
Right.
Where
with
there's another person
Rory
watching.
Kinnear finding, hearing Dracula dying, and then after he turns to dust, he collects all his things, and and then he sells them to Ralph Bates and the rich bastard.
Which one's that?
Taste the Blood of Dracula.
That's Chase the Blood in the next one after that one, yes. And then
Right,
Scars
so
of Dracula. I forget how he dies in Taste the Blood.
Oh, in Scars, there's a bat that barfs up
he's in,
blood.
He's in that
on the skin.
unconsecrated church, and I think
Yeah.
he falls to his death or something on the altar, right? In Taste the Blood of Dracula, and then he turns to dust again.
We're just gonna have to watch it again.
Yeah,
what consecrates
think
a church?
I
The
guess it's got to be blessed.
If like
and-
somebody dies in the church,
Yeah,
is
well,
that
it's, you know,
Well, no, consecrated ground is any church ground. It's just
it's like why Highlanders
where
won't
a holy
fight
place
on.
is.
That's right.
or whatever?
Yeah.
Prayed
We will
over?
not violate this rule.
Oh, you know, I had a question for you guys.
Sanctuary.
So, I grew up.
Good
I
for you.
didn't see Bela Lugosi's Dracula growing up. I didn't see Hammer movies growing up. I saw Bram Stoker's Dracula growing up.
In the 90s.
And I wonder if you were to ask people, maybe our age, a little bit older, maybe a little bit younger, if Gary Oldman would be there, if Dracula. Because I remember seeing that movie with my sister and seeing it because fucking Keanu Reeves was in it. So we had to see it because Keanu Reeves was in it. So I grew up with a Gary Oldman Dracula.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen other vampire movies, but Dracula was Gary Oldman for me, or some kind of cartoon version of whatever Dracula was.
I'm not sure. At horror conventions, I still see younger people sporting Hammer shirts and Bella shirts. I very rarely have I seen anybody with a Gary Oldman shirt.
And
I'm sure it's there, but
even Hammer is pretty rare at a convention too. Like, and whenever, it's kind of like Halloween 3 people finding each other.
Yeah.
Although that
in a
it's much
dumpster
more
somewhere.
common now.
It's
This
fun.
is the
I do it
last
because it's
time.
fun. I do it because it's fun. I do it because it's fun.
The Hammer
I like
conventions
that.
seem to be all in England if they do have them,
yeah.
and you're right. A lot of the people that made these movies are dying off. There's not that many of them left.
Yeah,
so
like even at my
you're not going to
table-
have a lot of the guests anymore.
Right. And I had a couple repro Hammer lobby cards at my table for a while, and they didn't sell. And then finally someone was like, oh my God, I've been looking for Hammer stuff. Like, I look for Hammer stuff too.
Yeah.
Like, because you never find anything.
No.
And and they'll go through brief spurts of having, like, there's some Hammer rubber duckies out right now.
Are they really?
Yeah, there's a Frankenstein and Dracula.
Yeah.
Oh, that's really big now. The rubber ducks.
Rubber ducks are,
whatever
Different faces.
Yeah.
You can get a rubber cushion.
Like I've got the Mego
Rubber cushion.
Hammer
I do
dolls.
have the Meager
yeah.
Hammer dolls. I don't have the Plague of the Zombies one.
I didn't get that one either. I just got the big ones.
I got the Reptile.
But
yeah.
it's sad though, because I wish it was a little bit more mainstream, because I think people don't know what they're missing.
Yeah, and it's, I mean,
like before the show, I never saw him. I knew that Christopher Lee had once played Dracula.
Yep.
But I did not know. I had never seen any of his Dracula movies. I never saw any of the other ones.
I will speak from my age. Brian's a couple of years older than me, but we're pretty close in age, so have the same life experiences as far as pop culture goes. For me, I came into Hammer out of Star Wars, really, and Creature Double Feature
Same
pushed
here.
together, because it was like, oh my God, this is Grand Moff Tarkin is in these movies.
Yeah.
Like, Grand Moff Tarkin plays Frankenstein.
Yeah.
And,
I remember reading a Star Wars magazine that said that Peter Cushing and David Prowse had both been in a Frankenstein movie together, and I'm like, what? And then they started showing them on Creature Double Feature, and I was hooked.
And so on Creature Double Feature, usually they'd have like two of the movies put together.
Yeah.
And so you'd start, and I got to love those as a kid, because they're fairly kid friendly.
They are.
horror movies.
Yeah.
So. You know, 10-year-old me was devouring.
Oh, yeah.
You know, there were those little orange books in the library at school that were all about the famous monsters.
Yep.
And I didn't read Famous Monsters of Filmland.
I didn't either.
But I had these little books at school that I was discovering, like, you know, the history of Dracula. And it went into as much about Christopher Lee as it did about Bela Lugosi. Yeah. Because Bela Lugosi is pretty much, you even look around the room here, you've got Bela Lugosi.
Yeah.
Bela Lugosi, for the majority of Americans, at least, is their Dracula.
Right.
Or some iteration of that look. Right. Whether you know it's him or not.
A non-copyrighted version.
Yes, exactly.
It's not Bela Lugosi, it's just Dracula.
Yeah, it's Adam Sandler's
It's Adam Sandler.
Oh, yeah. Blah, blah, blah,
blah.
blah.
Do not say blah, blah, blah.
You know,
Yeah. All wearing the tux.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Christopher Lee is just another iteration of that to most people.
Yeah.
And so, but you know, as you pointed out, you know, he played the part more than anybody else.
Yeah.
Really.
And even outside of Hammer.
Oh, yeah.
He made Italian horror movies that had
Count
Dracula.
Jess Franco's Count Dracula.
Yeah.
If you want more of the authentic dialogue, it's not too far away from the level of Hammer dialogue.
I know. I've seen it too.
But he's got the mustache in that one.
Yes, he does.
Same as the novel.
Yep.
Sports a Tom Atkins mustache in that thing, but no mustache for
the old soup strainer.
Yeah.
I guess for me, Derek, I don't know if this is true for you. Like, my experiences with like Dracula and the Wolfman are like the Count on Sesame Street, cartoons, and then really when it comes to horror, Silver Bullet and Monster Squad got me into liking werewolves and vampires. And the hunter aspect of
And
of
I think
those.
everything, when we were kids, like anytime you had anything Dracula, whether it was a cartoon figure or a toy or anything, it was, like you said, like that imagery of the Bela Lugosi.
Yeah.
I don't think in our generation they would necessarily recognize, oh, that's Bela Lugosi.
Yeah.
No.
Even like the Grandpa Munster.
Right.
An iteration of fucking
Yeah,
Bela
right.
Lugosi
With the crow's peak.
I would see that and be
hair
like, what did he win the gold medal for? I don't understand this.
Well, I remember, I went as Dracula, well, as a vampire for Halloween once, and it was the Dracula costume, and it came with the medallion, and it came with the cape, and you provided your own white shirt and black pants, but
draw a widow's peak on your forehead.
Right, exactly.
They sold the capes and
Can I recommend a Dracula movie for everybody in the audience?
Not the Franklin.
The Return of Dracula is a movie about a kind of Midwest family, and it's a woman who lives with her daughter and her son, and they have a relative coming from overseas to come visit, and the relative gets waylaid by Dracula, and Dracula comes and moves in with this family
because they haven't seen the relative.
Because they haven't seen the relative.
Oh,
And
that's hilarious.
That's
and
awesome.
it's a great movie. Is
it a comedy?
It's only an hour and 17 minutes long.
Return of
From
Dracula.
1958.
Wow. I'll check that out.
What year was this produced, Dean? Do you know? 70s?
No, earlier it's
It says 58.
Oh, wow,
58,
really?
I was
yeah.
about to say it's
like The
around the
Visit.
same time. It's black
Shit.
and white.
It's totally like The Visit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Except there's no annoying kid who wants to be a rapper in the
Francis Lederer.
Maybe.
I don't know
I
if
haven't
that's how you
seen it
pronounce
yet.
the name. Francis Lederer plays Count
I haven't heard of that
Dracula.
one.
Yeah,
I've never heard of it
it's-
either.
If you don't want a very human version of Dracula, this is not.
I
'cause
like
he's-
all
he's
versions.
kind of a
I'm
schlumpy
fine.
guy, but just the like. It's great because it kind of goes along with the Hammer Draculas in kind of. I mean, thinking especially in the early Draculas where you're going with 50s tropes and the idea of like the 50s nuclear family, and here's a guy coming in. Kind of like Night of the Hunter coming in and
Oh, love that
just
movie.
destroying the idea of the nuclear family. And it's like a
Oh, I have seen this.
real.
I've seen this poster anyway. I haven't seen the
no, it's a
movie.
really good movie.
All right.
So I just
Huh.
thought while we're talking vampires, I'd recommend that.
Yeah.
And then when you're
Love
done
it.
with that, see Billy the Kid versus Dracula.
Oh, I've seen that
with
one.
John Carradine.
Ugh.
Yeah. No, don't see that for real. Actually, it's hilarious. Billy the Kid versus Dracula. Dracula fights
What was
Billy
that
the
other
Kid.
movie David Carradine?
That's
was
a good
in?
one to riff.
Where they they live in a town, all the vampires live there, and they have wooden bullets. And fuck.
Oh, shit. I don't know this one.
I don't know. It's like Sundown.
With David Carradine?
David Carradine. This is the guy from Kung Fu, correct? David Carradine.
Oh, you said David John Carradine.
John Carradine.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm
I was
sorry.
thinking David Carradine.
Yeah, no. John Carradine's
it's a
in
David
Billy
Carradine
the
movie
Kid
where
versus
he's,
Dracula. David Carradine could very well be in this.
It's a vampire movie, and I always thought that was cool because they have wooden bullets. And Sundown, the Vampire in Retreat. That's from 80.
Oh, I've heard of that one.
It's like a horror western.
Oh, cool. I'll check that one out. You watch Billy the Kid.
You watch it first.
No, man. No, I don't trust you. You know I'll watch yours. I
know.
Yeah, I have no guarantee you'll watch mine. You know better.
Bruce Campbell's in it.
Oh, shit.
Is it Max Caulfield?
Yes. I have seen this.
Maxwell Caulfield.
I think I have seen
Deborah
this movie.
Foreman's in it.
Deborah Foreman.
I love Deborah Foreman.
Wow.
It's a full moon movie.
Dana Ashbrook.
Is it a full moon film?
Like, is that the name of the company?
The company, yeah.
Is it produced by Charles Band? Is the
I don't know.
I don't know either.
Well, you keep looking, and that's Dracula, Prince of Darkness.
Yes, it is.
Oh, for sure.
So 4 yeas, 1 nay, not too bad. Definitely check it out if you're like us, or if you're like Derek and you like your vampires different. Check that out.
Check it out.
Check it out anyway.
Check him out. Check him out.
Check Derek out.
Me out.
Yeah.
Check you out.
Do that. Check me out.
OnlyFans.
Yeah, check out Derek. That's right. What's making the geek flags fly, gentlemen?
I just got one. You guys know I play Dungeons and Dragons on Saturday nights
Yes,
mostly.
we do.
We go to a friend's house out in Taunton.
You slayed an orc.
whole band of goblins and hobgoblins. But
man.
I ordered figurines. You know, I'm really getting into this, and you have your little miniatures that you have that represent your character and stuff. Well, I couldn't find one that I really liked. You know, my guy is a half elf rogue, and I couldn't find a figurine that I really liked that represented my character. I found this company called Hero Forge where you could customize. You know this, Dean?
Yep.
You're nodding.
Huh.
So you can customize your character, and it is so detailed. I should go grab the figure. I should have brought it downstairs. So I ordered them. They're expensive though.
Yeah.
$50 for a little like 1-inch figurine, but it comes like it's 3D printed in color. So you don't have to paint it or anything. It's amazing the detail on these things. And I was just so impressed. I'm like, that just made me geek out. I was like, oh my God, this is fucking amazing. Like you
exactly
build
what
this.
you wanted your guy to
It
look
is.
like.
You
That's
can
cool.
pose it. You can put whatever weapons you want in it. You can
cool,
put
cool.
like accessories on his belt. You can like change the hair. You know, there's this whole creator thing all done in a browser, and it is so much you can change and so much you can customize, right down to the color of his the buckle on his belt. You know,
Nice.
it's amazing what you can do.
Cool.
And then they 3D print this thing in color, and it looks exactly like what you had on your screen. Amazing. I think
Wow.
I think it was totally worth it.
Future.
It really is. So that's what's making my geek flag fly.
Awesome.
Yeah, Hero Forge.
Dean?
Oh, and for me, two very quick things. One is a movie on Hulu. Do you have it?
I think so.
All right, you know what? I'll go with just my one, and then if you got it. On Netflix, there's a series called Mask Girl, and it is really, it's really fabulous. It's, it takes turns. It's Korean. If you are bothered or triggered by sexual violence, it is not the show for you, but it is tough to watch at some points. It's funny at some points, and it is always like you're never know what foot to be on watching this show. It is so good.
Cool.
It looks crazy. The only new thing I saw, I was like scrolling through shit the other night, and I watched the It documentary.
Oh, the Pennywise.
The story
I
of
saw
It.
that.
And I thought that was really, really fun, and I thought they did a really good job of kind of paying homage to all the people who had passed.
Yeah.
And it was fun. It was cool, and they, it's Tim Curry's in it, not quite where he is now.
Mhm.
Still, but it was fun. It was cool to see the story, and I like that they got everybody who was still alive to be in it and kind of tell their side of what it was to make the movie. And
Yeah,
be in it.
Cool.
I mean, I
thought it was-
still
I
love
thought it
that
was fun.
version. I think it's still.
It came out in what, 90 or 91?
1990, I think.
Still amazing. You're right.
Maybe 91. But for a made-for-TV back then, they covered a lot of ground. That's a big book to cover.
1990. Yeah.
Brought to you from the director of Halloween 3.
That's right.
Oh,
Tommy Lee
right.
Wallace.
Oh, that's right. It was filmed in a
Fantastic
dumpster.
Yeah. It's filmed in a dumpster. What am I missing here?
I'm
with this?
just fucking around.
Yeah, but
That people who like those movies.
which movies are we talking about?
Halloween 3 and It.
And It are dumpster movies. They're filmed in a.
Yeah. They're trash. They're trash movies.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
But why are you going after Derek?
Because he said
he
fuck
knows
you
that-
earlier when I said
he
it.
knows I love
fucking
Halloween
around.
3.
Oh, we
Oh,
all
you guys love Halloween. Yeah, we all like Halloween
Yeah.
3. I thought it was funny,
Yeah.
but Derek, I got a really good reaction on
I
Derek.
see what you're doing.
So
Dad,
now
James got his Halloween 3 show.
I'm just
I
going
like
to
that
focus on Derek. Because I got the best reaction from
It's all
him.
right, Tito. We'll make you a believer one day.
Let's make you a geek flag fly.
All right, mine very quickly is I started reading the Elvira and Monsterland books, and they are fucking awesome. Brian, you would really dig these, especially.
Are they comics or
They're
novels?
comics.
Comics.
And there's about 5 of them. The new one just came out. I have to pick up the new one.
Okay.
But it's Elvira going through Monsterland with Peter Weller. Buckaroo.
Really?
Yeah, Buckaroo.
RoboCop's own Peter Weller.
Yeah, she breaks the fourth wall. There's all these references. In the very first issue, she's watching the Bela Lugosi Dracula when the actual Dracula shows up in the movie, and it turns out he's going from movie to movie, stealing all the famous Draculas to grow his army. He goes from everybody to.
Does he go to Hammer?
Hammer.
Really?
Scorzini and the Night Stalker. Even
Oh.
there's a section when they all look like Muppets. He tries to kidnap the Count from Sesame Street.
Oh, that's
And
cool.
each book she deals with a different monster, but the universes are all connected.
Uh-huh.
But there are other characters.
And Peter Weller's in it
Peter
as
Weller.
Peter Weller?
As
Buckaroo.
As Buckaroo?
It is as Buckaroo.
Bonzo.
Or is it another?
Jen was reading it next to me and was pointing out, like, look, it's Christopher. Which one's this? And like
Yeah.
But
He's
I think
dressed
pretty much-
like his character in Naked Lunch, but I'm pretty sure it's not him. But he's got the hat and the overcoat, and she does call him Buckaroo. So I don't know if that's a clever name or
interesting.
not, because that's his whole thing, is that kind of adventure. So I got to keep reading again.
wasn't Peter Weller a vampire hunter in something?
No,
maybe
you thinking of
he
James
was.
Woods from?
Oh, I was thinking
Yeah.
James Woods.
He hasn't shown up yet.
John Carpenter.
So I'm curious to see where the series goes, but I love issue 1. Like I said, I've finally got around to reading these because I had a lot of comics backing up, and it's worth the read. I think. Brian, again, you would love it.
I'll check it out.
Yeah,
You
The
picking them
Kolchak-
up? Oh yeah, Kolchak's in it too?
Kolchak has an appearance in it.
Nice.
Yeah,
That's
it's
awesome.
just if you're a fan of classic horror, all of it's in there. And
Nice.
and I will continue to update you with the more issues I read.
Awesome.
Okay.
Mine is Hulu. There's a new movie that just dropped on Hulu.
Oh, I want to see this.
No One Will Save You.
Yes.
And I didn't know what to expect. I thought, I think this is. I've heard good things. I think this is supposed to be like a big release, and it's essentially a silent film.
No kidding.
There's
there's no dialogue in it.
There's noises, there's sound effects, but there's no actual dialogue.
There's one line.
Right.
One line.
And yet the story, like, it's told. Like, you understand what's going on. There's a whole, like, subplot with the girl, and she's kind of like a pariah in her town, this girl, Bryn. Her mom's dead. Something happened between, you find it, like, you figure out something happened with her friend, and she's kind of hated in town for whatever happened, but you don't know what happened. It's not just like, and at first I'm thinking like, it's got to be some type of slasher or home invasion. No, it's an invasion. It's an alien invasion movie.
Yeah, from the trailer that I saw,
and the movie poster has like an alien thing,
yeah.
so it's not
For the most part, the way these things move and the way that they look and sound, like, it's really cool.
For
like,
CGI aliens, it works.
Right.
And the movie isn't, we talk about a 45-minute build-up in this movie.
Right.
This movie is silent or there's no dialogue for an hour and a half.
No kidding.
And it works. It's
really
weird that it works.
Huh.
It was awesome. The girl that plays Bryn was really good. I didn't recognize a single actor in it, and which, how I love that for horror movies.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I want all my horror movies to be. But it was really good, and I'm not usually an alien guy. I like alien movies aren't usually my go-to, but this was fantastic and definitely worth the watch.
Yeah, I do want to see it, and you
I know,
saw it.
Brian. Brian, you would love it.
I probably would.
Yeah.
Right, it's right up your alley.
I guarantee it.
Sounds good. So I get to see that, and I get to see Return of the Vampire.
Yeah,
for sure.
Absolutely. So many good
I already
recommendations
saw Billy
tonight.
the Kid, and I think I saw the movie Tito.
I haven't seen that one. I want to see that one. I want to see Return of the Vampire.
Dark Prince: The True Story of Dracula stars Peter Weller as Father Stephen.
Oh, okay.
Made-for-television film on USA.
Wow.
Well, I guess so.
I have not seen that or heard of it.
Neither have
so
I.
But I guess that's probably what she was.
Probably.
Yeah, maybe.
All right.
All right.
Great Geek Flags, everyone.
Good job.
And I guess that's going to wrap it up for this episode of Three Geeky Dads. If you'd like to hear any and all past episodes of ours, be it more Drink Till It's Good versus episodes, Hammer films, May the 4th series, or just our usual brand of raving, ranting, reviewing, and relishing and regurgitating all things geek, Brian, where can they go?
They can go to our OnlyFans page they can go to www.3gdpodcast.com. That's www.3gdpodcast.com. As Mark said, you'll be able to find all of our past episodes there, and there are many. We are up to like 215 or so, or maybe more. It's hard to keep track of, and I do it every week. I lose track because Apple doesn't number them like they used to.
Mm-hmm.
And so every time I go to publish an episode, I'm guessing at the number.
It's all over the place.
Along with all of our episodes there, you could find one-click buttons to subscribe to us. If you're not already a subscriber, please hit one of those buttons to the podcast platform of your choice, and you will never miss an upcoming episode. We also have a Ko-fi page, and our link can be found there as well. Ko-fi is like Patreon. If you want to make a small donation, it would be greatly, greatly, greatly appreciated. And let's see, what else is there? Our social media links are there. We are on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, now X, and our audio can also be found. Tito still shaking his head at that one. Fuck Elon, right, Tito?
Yeah. Fuck that fuck.
And
with the battery pack.
Our audio can also be found weekly on YouTube as well. And if I missed anything, I apologize.
Apology accepted.
And I'm going to just say thank you out there, everybody, for listening, and pass this back to Mark to wrap it all up.
I think you covered it all.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you, Brian. Thank you, boys. And thank you, Dean, for joining
for
us.
having me.
I hope you come back. Next month is, of course,
also
October.
I forgot to mention, check out Dean at dreamswithindreams.com, where you can find all of his merchandise.
That's right.
All of his Suspicious Kitty, his graphic novel, The Stalking Dead, among other good stuff, T-shirts, bags, and all kinds of other goodies with Dean's artistic stamp all over
We'll have
it.
a Dracula T-shirt within the month.
Wow. Well, then I am going to have to place my order.
Hells yeah.
color
And
us
the new
interested.
Suspicious Kitty logo looks awesome.
Yeah, it does. The
Yep.
nuclear
You have
one.
fat guy sizes. You carry big
yeah.
ones. All right, good. Well, no, because honestly, because you would think that there would be a ton of them at horror cons, and like the last few times that I've gone and I've looked at people that were selling T-shirts.
Yeah, no, we try and
Yeah.
It's encouraging us to lose weight. They're trying to make America skinny again, one horror convention at a time.
Maybe that's just where they fail.
Yeah, by that too.
Yeah, we actually sell out of the larger sizes first, and then it's like, oh no, sorry.
It's because these damn kids nowadays all wear all this oversized clothing.
Also,
Yeah, that's what it is, Derek. That's what it is.
Check Dean out when him and I do our escape pods for Three
That's
Geeky
right.
Dads. That's always fun to
It
listen
is.
to us.
We just published one last week.
That's
Check
right.
it
What the hell
out.
did we- yeah, Motel Hell and
Tourist Trap.
And we're gonna have another one for the spooky season. We're going into the spooky season.
We're in the spooky season, man. We
Right
got
now, while
like
you're listening
we
to
got like
this.
2 days left of September, man. We're sliding into October.
On the way down here, I saw some fantastic decorated.
All the
yards.
decorations are out
already.
I know.
so-
I'm gonna be putting mine out soon.
I killed a guy.
Way to get into the spirit, man. So there is going to be a ton of fun shit coming in October, folks. Until then, for Three Geeky Dads, thank you for listening in. For Three Geeky Dads, I am Mark.
This is Derek.
I'm Brian.
Oh, and I'm Dean.
Tito.
You sure are. All of you. Every one of you. Saying good night and keep watching the skies, because how the hell else can the aliens wave back to you?
That's right.
Good call.
Thank you. Oh. Aliens.
That's the sound of the pro.
Mark Evelyn Merman McCready, everybody.
Running out of vampire jokes.
I know. We do a lot of vampire stuff.
What do vampires drink at happy hour?
What?
Be positive.
Oh, perfect.
Hey.
That's perfect.
Oh, happy hour.
Get
All
it?
right. So we all have an
You
appetizer.
know what, Derek?
Because it's
Unfortunately,
also
I
a blood
do.
type. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I
you know.
unfortunately do get it. Which is the real travesty.
Well, let me
What the hell? I don't
silence
want
the
one of those.
phone so it doesn't howl.
Please silence all cell phones.
Hold on. You put
That's
your
right.
flashlight on.
Oh, son of a bitch. How'd I do that?
I don't know. Because you're all thumbs.
That's right. Shut off, motherfucker. Oh, my God.
Just do the drop down thing.
I did. It's off. It's off. It's off. It's off.
Look, we'll have landed by the time you've gotten it right.
All right. Let's
All right,
do it.
you ready?
Let's talk.
Ready, Bri?
Ready.
Yeah.
Hey guys, what kind of fuck? What was it?
I don't know, Derek. You tell me.
Yeah. What kind of fuck?
What kind of fucks?
Joke,
do,
man.
Dracula
Sorry. Hey guys, what do vampires drink at happy hour?
I don't know. What?
Be positive.
Ah.
Pretty good.
We should be.
Nice.
All positive.
Yeah.
Every one of us.
What made me jump to premium
Oh,
because I
yes.
wanted to watch that, but you could only watch that if you had,
If you had the premium, yeah.
See,
And it was like the first theater movie that showed up on there.
But I did watch that, so I must have had premium.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what I couldn't do with Halloween? I couldn't download it to my phone.
Oh.
I wanted to watch it on the plane.
Really?
And it wouldn't let me because I had the lesser package. So I could watch it, but I couldn't download it to watch it.
You have a lesser pack.
See, I'm using my sister's. She has the premium.
What played? Oh, 1972 thriller. Home for the holidays. Oh, fucking Genki's in that too. Jessica Walter.
Oh,
Sally Field, Jessica
Genki.
Walter.
That's worth checking out.
yeah. I haven't seen it since it was first on TV.
Although
so-
now I want to see a Sally Struthers killer movie. Now that you put that out there.
I know,
For
right?
only 52 cents a day.
Yeah, right.
Do
still
you want to
can.
bleed on your carpet? Of course we all do. That'd be great. All her quips are just an infomercial.
Uh-huh.
It's true.
Yeah. After Horror of Dracula, Hammer wanted to continue with the Dracula legacy and Christopher Lee had no interest. But after Brides of Dracula, Christopher Lee returned as the Count under the stipulation that he would not speak, much like Vampira in Plan 9 from Outer Space, but with far better results. Luckily, that condition was short-lived, because for the several Draculas to follow, Lee once again became verbal and, in my opinion, better with many of the movies after. However, this film does give us something different, a Dracula with no words, but who still manages to command such a performance on screen. Prince of Darkness has all the trappings of the classic Hammer vampire movie, but also throws in the classic old dark house formula, with two tourist couples showing up at Dracula's doorstep while on vacation, or holiday, if you will. But as we know, a night in Castle Dracula is anything but a good time. Gentlemen, opening thoughts. Brian.
Love
Can I
this
ask a
one.
question really quickly before?
Actually, was I correct?
We didn't say
No.
hammer time.
Okay. What did I miss?
Oh, hammer time.
Yeah, we didn't say.
Oh, this is
The
that's
music.
right. This is a hammer thing.
Cue the
Okay, let's
music.
go. What was I? Because let me fix something.
Yeah, we can
Okay,
edit this.
So the it wasn't,
Wasn't a
and
stipulation.
it's not like completely wrong because there's Christopher
Debate.
Lee
Yeah.
says that he thought the lines were stupid
Right.
and cut them out.
Oh, that's why.
He refused to say them.
But Jimmy Sangster says
screenwriter,
there
yeah.
was never any lines written for Dracula.
All right, let me do
That
that.
it was
Because
that
they
last
weren't
part
sure
again.
if they like.
there. It
Right,
was.
it was-
It was. It. And in the original shooting script, there are no lines, and Christopher Lee even cites some of the lines that he cut out, and quotes lines from Dracula AD 1972. So they're going by saying that Christopher Lee probably had his memory on it wrong, and that they were just writing a more feral Dracula and didn't give him any lines.
Cool.
like that.
Repeat
So-
all that when we get it.
No,
All right, let me start.
Do you want to start over?
No, I'm not going to start from the
I know.
beginning. I'll start from after
Appetizers?
appetizers.
Start from appetizers? Let's start over.
Yeah, after horror, I'm going
You
to
can
start
just
right
cut
here.
in the explanation in the middle of this.
Yeah. At this point in the show, Dean explains.
You are wrong.
I wanted to be sure I was right. I should have checked before, but what are you going to do?
Well, actually,
That's the facts about Dracula.
Am I right? No, you are not. All right, here we go.
Worst Dracula ever.
Either way, however you look at it, it's hammer time.
There we go. Oh.
what? Wrong one again.
Pennsylvania.
There we go.
Okay.
I'm gonna start that one over.
All right.
Hold on. I'm gonna start from the beginning. Everybody be quiet. Mute you. All right.
I'm going to go home and have sex with my wife.